Hey, resellers! Oh my gosh, we are so excited to see you guys tonight. I can't believe how many of you guys are already waiting for us. I mean, Tracy was just saying this is old hat to me, but it is definitely exciting every Friday. But I'll tell you, it is brand new for her. This is Tracy's very first time ever. This is her YouTube debut. People are going to look back at this video one day, Tracy, and they're going to be like, that was the first time that this lady with 1 million subscribers was ever on a YouTube channel.
Oh, 1 million subscribers.
They're going to. One of these days they're going to look back and say that. So yeah, before we get in, I'm going to wait to tell you guys all the fantastic things about Tracy because I want everyone to hear it. And I know people are still filtering in. So why don't we say hi to some people? I know a lot of people came to see you tonight, Tracy. So we'll say hi to them while we wait to talk more about you.
Okay.
Suze along the way is here and looking forward. We're happy that you're here. And Scott, my new friend Scott is here. Can't wait for everyone to join in. Love the live. I am excited every Friday for the live. Hit the like button as you come in. You know it's going to be a great live. You guys already do know that it's going to be great. Melanie is here, and I'm super excited about that. I just love to see her face. She's great support of the channel. And Tracy was in here telling you guys hi. The eclectic element is here and cannot wait. And I know that they're really looking forward to seeing you tonight too, Tracy.
Yep.
Eric Hughes is here, and Suzanne Vaughn. Can I pronounce that right? Let's see.
Van Wagenen. It's the same last name as mine. That's my mommy.
Nice. Now, I've never seen your last name spelled out, Tracy.
Van Wagenen. Dutch.
Well, I was going to attempt a V. I did assume that it was a V sound, but who knows? I might have still butchered it. But did you say that's your mom?
That's my mama.
Oh, hey, I'm so glad that she's here. That's awesome. Oh, you just said that underneath. If I just kept reading, you guys know I'm laser focused on some of these, And this is your son, Kyle, right?
That's Kyle.
That's awesome. Kyle, we're super glad that you're here. And this is your daughter, Sydney.
That's my daughter, Sydney.
Man, I'm so glad that your whole family is here. It's a family reunion over here. Yeah. Let's see. Courtney Bolo Buddies is here as well. Courtney, we're super excited to see you.
Hey, Courtney.
And Carla's here. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday night. And do you know Carla?
I don't know Carla. Hi, Carla.
Carla's great. You'll like her. And Jessie Shops, the Jessie Shops.
I sure know Jessie. Hi, love.
Everyone's got to know her, right? Let's see. No, this is a different Noelle, not Farm Girl Scavenger. Noelle W. Happy Friday. I love it. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Zach Utah and Bought and Gone is here. Super excited for live. We're super excited that you're here. We're going to talk about all the things eBay because I have like an eBay master with me tonight. So we're going to talk a lot about eBay tonight. And let's see. Miss Nicole Macy is here. Hello, Nicole.
She's a fellow New Yorker.
Matt Flips. I'm sorry.
She's a fellow New Yorker.
Oh, nice. I've never been to New York. That's a state that I have not visited yet. Angela is here. Fisher Flips is here. I'm so glad to see all of you guys. Nikki and Gary. What would Friday nights be without Nikki and Gary here? Red Dirt Picker is here trying to steal Chanel out of his wife's closet and sell it on eBay.
Oh no.
She tried to steal it out of his pile, to be fair, I think. Christopher is here. So glad to see you, Christopher. Christopher sponsored a date night for my husband and I this week. We went and had
that.
Yeah. We had sushi and sake. It was great.
Nice.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. Nothing better, I guess I should say, than a date night in the middle of the day. And now I'm seeing this last name again.
That's my oldest son, Aaron. Hi, honey.
Oldest son, Aaron. Awesome. Hey, here's my family. I know this guy, Drew Strickland. Jiminy Flip It. That is the coolest name. I've not seen Jiminy Flip It here before.
I saw him last night on the Auction Professor show.
Nice. Chad, glad to see you here. The Hoogs are here. My mouse is freezing up, but there's the Hoogs. Hey, everyone. Super glad to meet you, Tracy. Inspired Style is here. And let's see. I absolutely am excited. Like Rachel said, this will be a wonderful thing to look back on when you hit the big time, Tracy. That's right. The page picker. I'm telling you. Hey guys, here's a channel that you need to check out. Night's Life. You need to check out Night's Life. Now, he has a UK channel. I know as resellers, sometimes we can get stuck in like the American channels. And there's a whole world of British resellers. I shouldn't just say British. It's like the whole UK. But anyway, Nights Live hosts a Saturday Night Live. It's like our Saturday afternoon. Like it's 1:30 in the afternoon for me. So it'd be like 2:30 for you. Anyway, I'm going to be on his show tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
So can you imagine me and my Southern accent talking with the Brits?
It'll be great.
It's going to be something. But you guys can check us out tomorrow. It's like 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern time. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. And Santa is here. Yeah. I don't think that I missed anyone. I sure hope I didn't miss anyone, but I know that you guys want to know who it is that I'm here with tonight. Because Tracy, you don't ever post a picture on your Instagram.
I do once in a while.
You post pictures of the cool stuff you find. But I was so glad that you made that that promo photo of you and I to promote the show, because I was like, here's a picture I can use for the thumbnail. Because I usually like scour people's Instagram. Little heads up there, if you're ever going to be on my show, post the picture you want as a recent photo on your Instagram. Because yeah, I have to go on there and steal a photo of you to like clip and put you into the, I'm Clint Eastwood and I don't know who the other guys are, but that's who you guys are. So yeah, I was glad that you posted. Oh yeah, I was glad that you posted that. But I think a lot of people who have followed you for a very long time are glad tonight to put a face with the name. I have followed Tracy, you guys, long before I ever knew she was Tracy, just 1987 Ventures. And I remember why I started following you. It was before I ever had a reseller Instagram. It was before I ever had a reseller YouTube. This is how long ago it was. And I started following you because someone, and I do not even know who to credit now, recommended that I do.
Oh.
Like not to me specifically. They had it on their story. They said, you guys need to follow 1987 Ventures. And I was like, okay. And so like the amazing connections you can make with people just off of a shout out, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, so like this is me definitely shouting you out. And what I'm going to be putting on Instagram after this and after everyone's got a chance to meet you is your YouTube channel, because this is like your YouTube debut. But really, truly, you put out an intro video this week because you're going to start doing YouTube, right?
Yes. Finally gonna start doing it. I'm moving a little slow. I'm camera shy, so this is like a big deal for me. And even making that intro video was like, whew, that was a little rough just even getting that out, but I'll get there. If you guys just bear with me and hang in there, we'll get there.
I'm excited for you because while you're new to YouTube, you are not new to reselling, and you like to sell the kind of stuff I like to sell, which is really cool vintage, once in a lifetime kind of finds. So I'll shut up for a minute while you tell everyone like who you are, how you got into reselling, like the whole spiel, because they might not know. If they don't know, what do you want them to know about you?
Okay. So I live in the Catskills in upstate New York. It's beautiful. I live in a sleepy little mountain town surrounded by a lot of resorts. And I have always been a collector my entire life. And I think that came from my mom and my grandparents. I tell my mom it's your fault all the time. Because my grandfather, her father, was actually an antique dealer and passed along his love of antiques to my mom. And mind you, my mom tells me all the time how amazing it is that I do what I do on eBay, because my grandfather would have loved it. But my grandfather didn't have the benefit of the internet, right? They didn't have eBay. They didn't have like really anything. And he had a little antique shop, and he ran, he sold antiques out of there, and everything that he learned or researched, he had to do like the good old fashioned way. So I think that's where my love of antiques and vintage and collectibles comes from. My mom raised my sister and I on yard sales. I remember going to yard sales ever since we were little. We went to yard sales, and it just kind of grew with me. And as an adult, I was taking my kids to yard sales. So fast forward, up until really 3 years ago, I've been, like 95% of everything in my house is from yard sales or antique stores or thrift stores. Almost everything except underwear, bras, and socks and sheets.
Yeah. Right? The few things you can't buy secondhand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, but like that's what I've always done. And it wasn't until 3 years ago, and don't even ask me how this got started, but I was watching YouTube one night and I came across Solange Mina, who is like, I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Mhm.
She's a Poshmark seller. She may sell on other platforms, but at the time she was talking about Poshmark and how to sell on Poshmark and how to like, package things and love notes and the whole thing. And I was like, what is all this? And so I started watching and I got interested, and it was like an epiphany.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, oh my God, I could do what I do now, but I could actually make money doing it. Like,
You mean I don't have to keep everything?
right, right. The bells went off. And so I just started going, let me try selling like some of my stuff. And that's how it started. Some of the things I didn't need anymore or clothes I didn't want anymore. I started on Poshmark like that. And then right afterwards, like within like a month, I was like, I want to try eBay. And so I just sort of jumped in. And since then, the rest is sort of history. Now we're in the process of building our reseller barn with money that we've made off of our eBay business. I was hoping that by the time I actually got on YouTube, that I would be broadcasting from the office in the barn. And, life happens. So
Yeah.
I'm still in my living room, but, we're getting there.
That's awesome. I love everything about the story. And your story is so similar to mine in that I found someone on YouTube that was randomly talking about the fact that they were buying this thrifted stuff and selling it. And I was like, wait, what? I
Yeah,
mean, I love to thrift, but I didn't know I could sell the stuff. And it's like, why did you never think about that?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say hi also to Crispy's Toys and Treasures is
Hi,
here.
Chris.
Want to say hi to Abel and to Eric. Marketplace Boutique is here. Let's see. I don't want to skip over any of you guys because I appreciate you so much. Here's Ford Pinto. I couldn't try to pronounce that the proper way. So that's all I'll say. Happy Cowgirl Thrifter. We're glad that you're
Amy.
here. Did you say Amy?
Amy.
Amy. All right. I'll try to remember that. Now is she from Texas since she's a happy cowgirl?
No, she's from Delaware.
Oh, that's not a cowgirl at all, but she could be a cowgirl at heart. We could be
She's
whatever we
awesome.
want to. Hey Rachel and Tracy, great to see you. Smitty, we are super glad that you are here. And so I'll scroll back down here. If you guys have questions throughout the night, I'm going to try to stay closer to the end of to the bottom of the chat, I should say, so that I can see your questions. But just know as you're coming in that I don't want to skip over anybody, but definitely want to give Tracy some time to speak to us tonight as well. So I'm just super glad that you guys are here. Everyone's saying they love your hair, Tracy.
Oh, you can have it.
Melanie said it, and then Jesse said you had like dream curls, and I would agree. Like, and it's very long too. It looks nice and thick and beautiful.
Well, it's what I've got.
Gotcha. Carla said that she met you, I think, online the other day because Noelle introduced us, and I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh
Oh,
yes, yes.
so you remember?
I do
Okay.
remember. I do.
Yeah. Renee is here. My mother is here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
61 watching, hit the like button. I'm super glad that you guys are here. And here's my dad. Hey, Dad. Let's see now. Jiminy Flippant says, Tracy, I saw you on the show last night and wanted to make sure to check out your appearance this evening. Congratulations.
Oh, that's so nice. Don't you just love this community?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Like a lot.
Everybody is so cool.
Yeah, and like Lindsay, 10th Street Market, Trevor's wife. I mean, she's here she's like my husband as far as like, yeah, like not a reseller, but likes us.
Good enough for me.
My husband's not a reseller, okay? And the other day we were both home and I go to see what he's doing in the garage and he's organizing some stuff in there and listening to the Triple Thrift podcast.
Well, you never know. It might
like
not be too late for him.
Is that so funny? Like that's
Does
what's
he ever
on
go
his
thrifting with you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When we went on our date the other night, the other day we both went into the thrift store. We both had the same idea which thrift store we wanted to go into. I'm glad to see T here and Doc Diggle is here. Adam's Exploits is here. So I'll scroll back down here. What is your don't answer this yet because this is going to go along. Carla will talk about this. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. But what is your favorite thing to sell, Tracy?
Oh, well, like Rachel, and like she said already, I mean, vintage really anything is always what I'm drawn to. It's always what I'm searching for. Out of any bolo, if it comes down to some, I don't know, pens that are worth money, or, shower cleaner, I'm going to go for something cool and vintage every single time,
Yeah.
and that's vintage clothing, vintage pottery, vintage glass, vintage jewelry, vintage anything. Vintage is my favorite
Exactly.
toy.
Like I sell vintage staples because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not making them like that anymore. Like they're copper.
yeah. I sold a stapler last week.
Yeah. I mean, it's just awesome. I'm with you. Vintage, like vintage crayons,
Anything.
vintage stationery, like literally vintage pieces of paper. It doesn't matter what it is. Haley Tornado's here. Hey, Haley.
Oh,
Glad to
really?
see you here. Believable Blessings just stepped in also. Trevor couldn't join, but he said to say hi. Tell him that we missed him, and he's always a valued part of the Friday night show. I have to have Trevor on here sometime. Wouldn't that be fun?
There you
I don't
go.
I don't think he's on YouTube as far as I know. If he's on YouTube and didn't tell me, I'm just going to tell you guys right now. If we speak on Instagram and on YouTube and I don't know that you have a YouTube, please know that's the only reason I wouldn't be subscribed and supporting you is because I'm still making like finding out that some of my friends that I talk to have YouTube and I'm like, if you guys would just tell me, I'll be your biggest supporter and
Mhm.
giving you thumbs up and views and whatever I could do. Like I found out that a rural squirrel has YouTube and I'm like, how did I not know that?
Yeah, yeah. Yep, exactly.
Here's a great YouTuber, Carol. Butterfly Hustles is here. We're glad to see you. But yeah, you guys definitely I think if you like the things that I thrift, you will like the things that Tracy thrifts. And so on your Instagram, you're usually showing like some really cool finds, things that you found. And most of the time they are pretty unique and one of a kind items.
Yeah.
Do you ever come across stuff that you don't know how to price it because it's so unique?
Yes, all the time. Um, I'll often, I'm a instinctual shopper. I do comp when I'm at yard sales or thrift stores. I will run comps, but it starts with the instinct first. So it's usually me kind of like floating around or digging through a pile or scanning a table, and then suddenly I kind of like focus it and go, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
And if it's something that I really don't know what it is, that's even more exciting for me because I can pick it up and touch it and look at it and go, okay, I don't know what this is, but I know it's something good. And that doesn't always mean it's like worth $1 million, but I don't care. I saw you thrifting at the store the other day. I think it was your video that you posted either today or yesterday.
Yesterday, I think.
Thrift therapy,
Yeah, I
right?
think it was
That one, yeah.
yesterday. Maybe it was Wednesday.
Right. And you were like, I don't even care what this is worth. I just have to take it. It was the pen set, right?
Yeah, from Amsterdam, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I do that stuff all the time. I'm like, I really don't care if this sells for a ton of money. It's too cool to leave here. And I'm a sucker for anything labeled Japan, Korea, Italy, Portugal,
Yep.
Brazil. It's like I'm just drawn to certain things. And you if you have the instinct for this, and especially after you've been doing it a while, you
Mhm.
begin to kind of know the feel and the look and the way things are made. And you know that it's a good thing, even if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's what my merch one day should say is it's worth saving because I'm like, what's it worth? It's worth saving. That's what it's worth. I
That's a
don't care
good
if I
one.
get $5 for that windmill. I couldn't leave it there at the thought of someone else not coming in to appreciate it and it like winding up in the garbage at the thrift store or
Mm.
being recycled or something because they're not making that anymore. And
Yeah.
I mean, by no means is my business model, at least I'll break even, but on some items I'm like, I don't even care if I lose money on some things if I can save it and get it to the hands of somebody. Like I know that probably sounds cliche to some people that don't have the same passion for vintage items that we do, but it's like on American Pickers when he says that it's not always about selling the item, it's about like reuniting the item with the person that's been looking for it or needs it.
Absolutely.
I get
And
so
sometimes
excited.
and sometimes you don't even know what that is. And I'll tell you more about that later because I know we're saving other stuff for later. So that will circle back
Yeah.
later.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just and that's what Lindsay says, instinct is huge and they get much more tuned with time. And that's true because like I have a friend, my friend Alicia has such good taste that like she will flock to an item and the few times I've been thrifting with her, she just like she walks in. I'm not kidding you, Tracy. She's on the phone with her mom, sitting here talking, and we walk up to the same shoe rack and I'm looking at this, and then I look up at her and she goes, "Are these Tory Burch?" Like she's got these like Tory
Right.
Burch flats. And she
Yeah.
always picks up the wool, the silk, the cashmere, the leather. And I'm like, you have to start reselling. You have something that cannot be
Yeah.
taught. I
Right.
cannot teach you how to fill a rack and pull out everything that's cashmere and wool and like just to know to have that instinct, like Lindsay said,
Absolutely.
instinct is everything.
Absolutely. And it goes for, I mean, clothing is definitely one of those things where I think that, not that you can be taught to have that instinct, but you can hone that skill, you can get better as you
Mhm,
go. And where at the beginning, like I'm not like a fashionista, I don't wear high-end clothes. Like I said, everything I own is from the thrift store. But what the reason why, besides the fact that I'm frugal and don't want to spend a lot of money I don't have to spend. So besides that, those pieces are made better, they last
mhm.
forever, and I love the thought of the sustainability in the true sense that somebody bought this, paid full price, they got their use out of it, now I own it or somebody owned it before me, and now I'm gonna sell it, and I just think that's a beautiful thing because those pieces are built to last. They don't make it like that anymore. You can't go to Target and buy something right now and think that
Mm-mm.
it's gonna sell for more than it's worth in 30 years. It's just not gonna happen.
No, and you're not
Right?
gonna pass it on to your grandkids one day either,
No.
but, like and, like you saying that most of your wardrobe is thrifted, most of mine definitely is thrifted. Now, sometimes I'll buy newer jeans, like, if I'm having trouble finding jeans because they have to fit just right, so I'll buy some newer jeans sometimes, but I'm with you, but then I have so many, like, good designer pieces that people probably think my wardrobe is took cost me a ton of money, and it
Right.
didn't, it was thrifted.
Absolutely. Doc
And just
Diggle
like
has it exactly right. Good items give off great energy. It's
yeah, they
exactly right.
do, and they
Yep.
just last forever, like, my grandkids will inherit my purse collection one day, unless they don't want it.
Oh,
I
God
mean,
forbid.
like, my purses are good, and they'll
Mhm.
get it one day. Hillary says, "Being a knitter definitely helped me to learn to identify fibers by feel." That's true, you can feel
Yeah.
wool. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm a
Yep.
sucker for vintage wool,
Me too.
I can't leave it behind.
Nope.
Yes, it's all about saving for me too. You truly just start to know what is good quality over time, and that's true. And 3 things that I look for in vintage hard goods, if you guys are just starting out in vintage hard goods, I look for wood, metal, and glass
Yep.
because what is everything today is plastic.
Yep.
Plastic and it's plastic. And so wood, metal, and glass is it. Joe Dempsey Sales, I'm glad that you are here. And look at this. Pat D's, the traveling picker, says, sends us a $5 super chat. That is so nice of you, Pat. Thank you so much. Is it okay to super chat of Blue Eyes 4 more days? I asked the tough questions. Okay, he said it before I did because he told me not to say anything. But just so you guys know, in 4 days, I'm going to be hanging out with Pat D's over on his channel.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, you guys definitely check out his channel. Subscribe and hit the thumbs up or hit the bell notifications, I should say, and you'll see us whenever we go live. But I'm looking forward to that. He did tell me he was going to ask me some hard questions, and he's like, "Is there anything off limits?" And I said, "I have stood on stage in a swimsuit with a microphone being asked questions. You can't shock me. So ask me whatever you want." Flippin' Flamingos is here. Hi, Pat. And Courtney, I was just talking to Pat and Courtney there, but glad to see you guys. All Star Vintage is here also. I think something just fell off my shelf in my office here. So if you see me jumping, there's like a window there, and sometimes there's groundhogs under the deck. If a
Oh,
groundhog comes through the window or something, you guys will know about it first.
oh God, I hope so.
Can you even imagine how terrified I would be? I'm gonna start being really, really loud and scare the wild animals away. We're so out in the woods. You
Oh,
now are you like rural where you're located or are
oh,
you in
yeah.
a city? You are pretty
No, no,
rural?
no. I'm in the country in the mountains. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we're always thinking city life when you think of anything, in your area, but it's not all city. You said you're in the
No.
Catskills, so
Yeah. Yep. Nope. It's very rural here. I've got bunnies and bears and deer and all kinds of stuff in my yard all the time.
Yeah, All Star Vintage says vintage wool is great. I snagged a Pendleton suit coat today for $6. I love Pendleton. That's
Nice. So
definitely a
do
brand I
I.
look for. I'm
Me
yet to
too.
find a Pendleton blanket. I really want to find one. Have you ever found a Pendleton wool blanket? It's on
Yeah.
my list.
Yeah.
I save handmade things like baby clothes, Afghans, needlepoint, etc. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Nicole, you are 100% right. If it is handmade, I probably could lose money and still pick it up.
Me too.
It's folk art. And that's a key word. If it's something that's so quirky and handmade and maybe even a little creepy, like a doll or something, use the word folk art. Just one word, you could break it up, I guess. In your description, because there's people that are looking for stuff like that. Save it from the landfills. Yeah, we're all on the
Oh
same page
yeah.
there for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Courtney, thank you so much. She is dropping 1987 Ventures. Tracy, she's dropping her link, so you guys could head over there, subscribe, and come right back. You're gonna be, I mean,
Awesome.
if you want to see like a good YouTuber grow from the start, then subscribe to that channel, and you guys are gonna see like the progression live and in person, right? Primetime Treasure Hunter is here.
Woo! Hi, Dom.
Now, Dom has his series going on where we're, doing like the thrift battle.
I love that.
Yeah, so
Someday,
he gave
I'll do that. Someday, Dom, he'll have me on to do a thrift battle.
he gave me the date for the next time that I'm on, and I'm terrified. Can I just
Oh,
say that
yours
I'm
was
terrified?
great. Yours was great. Well,
I'm
I love you and I love Dom and I love Chris, Crispy Treasures. I mean, Toys and Treasures. You guys did so awesome, and that was a really fun show. And
That was
yeah,
super fun.
that was great.
It
They're
was a
really
lot of
nice.
fun. So, okay, I hate to bring up bad, so we're gonna go with the good first, okay? We can't have the first thing that you discuss with the chat being anything less than something stellar. Tell me something really good that happened on eBay. First of all, do you sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari? What all platforms are you on?
I sell on primarily eBay, but I also do Poshmark. I'll be totally honest with you. I never even list on Poshmark anymore. It's sort of like where the beginning clothes went to die, sort of. And just occasionally there'll be a sale. It's just not my thing there. I started there, so I'm grateful for Poshmark because it did get me my start and it got me kind of used to things. But
Mhm.
it's just not really my vibe, I guess. So mainly eBay, but I also do pretty well on Mercari to a much smaller scale. But
Oh,
um,
that's good. You need to give me Mercari tips sometimes. I'll have to pick your brain.
yeah, I love Mercari, and it's really good for certain things. And I also dabble in Grailed and Depop.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah, so for like streetwear and certain, which I'll tell you, streetwear is not super common where I am. I am not in New
I
York
wouldn't
City.
imagine that
No,
it
I
is.
am not in New York City, and but where I live, I do get the occasional benefit of being close enough to the city and in the same state, and also where a lot of people who do live in New York City or New Jersey or places like that come to vacation, and so sort of that translates into being able to find some of this stuff like through osmosis somehow, but it's not
Mhm.
super common. But so when I do find those pieces, or even like rare vintage pieces, I will put them up on, I'll cross list them into Grailed and Depop. But yeah, so those are my
I
platforms.
I want to start listing some of my single stitch over on Depop and some of the quirkier vintage that's not necessarily like vintage by the name brand, like Betty Bauer pieces and like Carolina and like just random,
Yep,
NY gear is some random brand, but you can look at it and tell how retro and vintage it is. I feel like that would do okay on Depop.
it will.
And yeah, like Drew Profit Monsters has been talking about Depop a lot lately. And I usually like roll my eyes when Depop is mentioned because I don't think that it's that great of a thing. But just looking at some of the stuff he's selling, it's just so beneficial when other sellers will talk about the other platforms and kind of like, give you another nudge. If you've tried a platform in the past, it hasn't worked for you, like, try it more than once. It's kind of like when you're trying to get your kids to like a new food. You got to try it 2 or 3 times before you decide that's definitely not for you, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Laura wants to know, did any of your area Goodwill stores stop half off? Also, have you been to Rochester, New York?
Okay, so the first question is, our Goodwill actually closed down. The Goodwill in my town closed down
Okay.
a couple years ago, and not to open again. I do have several Goodwills in the area. They do not do half off. They will do like a 40% off, or they'll do like some other sale. I To tell you the God's honest truth, Goodwill is like the last place that I
Mhm.
shop. I know most people, it's like their go-to, and I
Yeah,
guess it's
we're
sort of
so much alike, Tracy. No, they're like, if I just can't find anything, or if
yeah,
I'm looking for really good shoes, I'll go to Sykeson's Goodwill. Other than that, like it's Ma and Pa. Um,
yeah.
resale shops or thrift shops. Like I
Yeah.
want to support my friends, you know.
Yeah, it's really the last place that I go. I'll go if like I have no other place to go, or if I'm really itching to go to a thrift store on a Sunday. Goodwill's the only one that's open, because all
Mhm.
the other ones are like church thrifts mostly, or they're
Yeah.
run through churches, and so they're all closed on Sundays. So yeah, so that's like the last place I go. It's sort of, I go kind of out of boredom or desperation. But
I love it.
I have been to Rochester. I actually recently this summer went to Rochester to meet up with Dominic. We went to Syracuse.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I remember seeing the
Yep.
pictures.
Yep. We went to Syracuse, but we did have a stop off in Rochester also. And I have been to Rochester to thrift a few other times. And we met up with Dominic and with Chris from Crispy's Toys and Treasures, Emily Conway, and Noelle, Farm Girl Scavenger. And we all went to some yard sales and estate sales
That's
and
awesome.
lunch together. So that was really
Yeah, I
special.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was
That's so
that was
cool.
super fun. That was really fun. I'm happy that that happened.
That's gotta be fun to have like other resellers in your area and other people that are like present in the community of reselling online. Cause like there are a few resellers in my town but they're not like they don't even watch YouTube reseller videos. I mean, one does, and Nick, he shows up in the chat here, but other than that, like they don't even watch the YouTube or not in the Instagram community. So that's gotta be fun that you have people like nearby you like that.
And
Hey, Lisa, this
it's not super nearby, because I wish I had people like really nearby, because that's the only time that I've been able to
oh
do that. So and it was such a cool experience just to see like what we all gravitated towards,
yeah.
and like it was just really fun. I'd love to do that more.
I know, me too. I really want to go to like a meetup. This girl
Yeah.
here and her husband, you guys might know him. They're talking about doing a meetup this year. I hope they do.
Oh no,
No
I'm sorry. Who's your husband?
no pressure, but they talked about doing a meetup and I would rearrange my whole schedule to go to that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be
Absolutely.
so fun?
It'd be awesome. I would do that too.
But I said that there's not a chance I could go to a reseller meetup and not take Drew. I think people would be so mad at me.
You have to take Drew. You can't leave
Yeah,
him.
and so we have young kids, so but it's okay because my husband's parents are in Tennessee, and then so they would be like halfway. We could drop the kids off with his parents and then go on out to the meetup. So
There you go. You can work this out. I have faith
yeah,
in you, Rachel.
I think it could be good. So tell me, what's something really good that happened on eBay this week? I want to know like something that's just gonna make us all smile.
Okay. So, in order to know my good story of the week, you have to know that it started before Christmas. Okay. But it ended this week. So I say this counts. Okay. So before Christmas, I got a message from a eBay buyer who was interested in a vintage Gillette Purr detangling. I have it written down so I don't get this wrong here. It's a detangler in the original box and
Like
display.
so like a brush?
It's like it's electric brush, detangler
Oh,
brush. And
okay.
it was vintage, and it was in the box. It had the paperwork and everything. So they were interested in it, and they made me an offer, and they said, I really am interested in this. I hope you will consider my offer. And is there any way that you think I'll get it for Christmas, because it's for a special gift? So I said, I can never guarantee, the post office is doing better this year than they have before, but I can never guarantee. All I can tell you is I can ship it out first thing in the morning if you pay for it now. And let's hope that, it gets to you. So thankfully it did get to them on time. Because I tracked it and I saw that
That's
it got to
awesome.
them. And
They did
left.
so well
They
this
did.
year.
They
Like
did
all
great
the
this
mail
year.
carriers did
They
so
did
good.
great. They did great. So much better than last year. I'm so grateful. But so they left me good feedback, saying, wonderful communication, wonderful item, great seller. We'll definitely buy from again, yada, yada. So a couple days ago, I got a message through eBay from them, and they said, hi and happy new year. May the new year be to you and us and our families. You may remember when I bought this, I asked you to try to get it to me ASAP, as I wanted to give it to my long-haired adult son as a Christmas gift. And you said you would ship the next day. Well, it arrived in plenty of time, and my son loves it. His
Aw.
mom, his mom, who died 5 years ago, used a similar item when we were in college. I wish I could remember the brand. It was all light beige and had the two combs just like the one you sold me. So I was familiar with how these work. I also wanted to thank you for the personalized note you sent with it. I have only sold a few things on eBay and always did the personal note thing. Anyway, I, of course, gave you a strong 5-star positive review. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Thank you. And to me, selling things that make a great profit is always a great thing. Selling things that people told you, oh, that will never sell, always a great thing. My favorite, selling really fragile things that you're like clenching your fists going, oh God, please, you're biting your nails going, please make it there. Please make it there. And then going, it made it. It's great. That's great. But my favorite and always the top of my list on goods are messages like that, where it's more than just a thing. You know what I mean? It's a memory, it's a memory. It's a nostalgic, moment.
I love it.
That was just great. So that,
and like people take folks take the time to tell you when something goes bad. So it's so much more appreciated, obviously, when people take the time to tell you when things go really well. I just love that. I love everything about that story, and that is a wonderful, good thing, I would say, that happened this week. And I'm glad that it was for I guess his adult son and his long hair. I want to see what the detangler looks like. I'm gonna have to look that up at some point and see. Haley said the meetup is definitely happening. So we'll all be on pins and needles waiting for a date. And Joey Bada Bing is here, you guys. Let's go. Give me your best. Let's go, Tracy.
Let's go.
I love it. Very, very, very good. And little Miss Q is here. I'm so glad to see you, Q. She's gonna have a good video coming out soon. I think it will be probably coming out soon about some pretty cool sales. She's doing a challenge over on her channel where she's thrifting from like some nothing to a birthday vacation, like a getaway. Oh, cool. And she's taken like almost a full year, I think, sourcing just for that fund, and gonna show that as a possibility. I hope I got those details right. You guys check out Little Miss Q's channel and she'll tell you about it. I just had an item. This is Smitty's Family Store. Says, I just had an item I sold before Christmas shipped back to me, returned to sender. I've contacted eBay, but I'm wondering if either of you had this happen and what did you do? I did have one item once, a belt that was non-deliverable, and I was like, this is really weird. And so I hung on to it. I reached out to the seller or to the buyer. They didn't say anything. They just like ghosted me. And so like my funds were still there. And then I'm not kidding you, I was like, I need to relist that belt. And it just sit there unopened. I'm like, I need to relist that. Probably 2 months passed, Tracy, and all of a sudden the person messages me out of nowhere and says, I saw it got returned. I don't know why the doorman didn't take it or whatever, like some apartment in the city. And can you resend it? I was like, well, this is the address that I had. And they said, yeah, I send it out a second time. A second time it comes back. It's just a belt. It's like $10 or $15. And at this point, I'm just being nice resending it because it only cost me a couple of dollars. I just send it 3 times to them. And I don't think I ever charged them extra shipping. So when you guys think I'm a mean seller, just remember I did that for free. John's here, Bama picking and grinning. He's my guest next week, y'all. So you do not want to miss that. Yeah. Cool. Have you had that happen before though?
I have. Only a couple times. We had a psychology textbook go to a buyer. It got returned to us. We waited, we sent a message. They never responded. We waited. We have 30-day free returns. And so the 30 days went past, and then 60 days, and then 90 days. And we said, well, I guess they're gone forever. So we relisted it and we sold it a second time. So
sometimes there's only so much you can do. Like I can't track you down and beg you to take your money back or give me a proper address or anything. So I guess reach out to the buyer in that situation and ask them, was there something wrong? I mean, don't feel like you need to pay for the shipping the second time, because I probably shouldn't have even done that. I just, I was busy and just sent it, and I didn't want to invoice them and this and that. And like, what are you going to do to try to get them for shipping on an item that they already paid for? I feel like you'd have to negotiate that outside of eBay, and I didn't want to deal with that for like $2 in shipping.
Yeah.
Anyway, but feel free to do that if you want to. Jennifer Hayes is here. Thanks, Jennifer. I saw you also. She was dropping your link too, Tracy.
Thank you, Jennifer. Of course she was.
Those are the messages where you say, oh no, oh yes. I guess
absolutely.
That's true, because when you opened it up, you're like, oh great. I remember I bought this.
I totally was. I was like, whenever I hear that message thing go off and I see that a buyer sent you a message, I'm like, oh no, what's it going to be? And then to read that is just like, that just, it made my whole, it's still, gives me the warm and fuzzies.
I know, like it's always nice when someone just appreciates that, especially appreciating your handwritten card.
Yeah.
Like I had a card come in the mail once, and I'm like, I don't know who this is from. This is weird. Like when you get something that you can tell looks like a birthday card or something, you're like, I don't know this person. I have a PO box set up for all my business stuff, all YouTube. So I'm like, who is this from? And this was early on before I had the PO box, right? Anyway, so I opened it up, and it's a handwritten letter from a buyer. She's like, I received the tie that I sold her a clip-on tie. I still remember what the item was. This was probably one of the first 10 things I ever sold. I received the clip-on tie for my grandson, and it worked perfectly. And I just really appreciate the way that you packaged it in your handwritten card. I'm like, she mailed me a letter.
Isn't that just like so nice though? Like
so sweet.
It makes all the bad worth it,
El Lidro Vintage, we're so glad that you're here. Thanksgiving until June 1st is her birthday, like the fund that where she's saving up for her birthday fund. My son's birthday is June 1st. I wonder if that's when Q's birthday is. That's also Marilyn Monroe's birthday. I got to pick out my son's birthday that week. And because I had to be induced, and they were like, well, what day do you want? And I said, absolutely not Thursday or whatever the day was. And the doctor's like, why? I said, because his birthday would be 6606. And I'm not going to do that to my child. But is the first available? Because it's Marilyn's birthday.
That's too funny.
His dad didn't even know I was picking out Marilyn Monroe's birthday as his birthday. Is that hilarious?
They don't need to know.
Haley says we're shooting for August in Charlotte. Oh my gosh, August would be good. I'm not trying to control things here, Haley, but if you could do it before school's in session so I could take the kids and drop them off at their grandparents, I'm just saying. Otherwise.
My birthday's in August. I'm just saying.
See, this is perfect. We're all applauding you for sure. Nikki and Gary said, I just had it happen with vintage perfume, $140 returned to sender. I had to resend on my dime, came back again. I canceled the sale. It appeared to be a freight forwarding company.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Santa Claus just sent me money.
Hey,
I literally just got a gift from Santa.
Gotta love it.
Rachel and Drew always have awesome guests on their live streams. 1987 to match Tracy's 1987 ventures.
Yay! Thanks, Santa.
Tracy, why did you pick 1987? Is that the year that your son was born?
No, it's not. It's the year that my partner in crime and I met.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so the first time that I told you, like, I didn't know who you were, and someone suggested that I follow you, and I was like, oh, sure. It looks like we're probably like the same age. She's a little younger than me, but because I thought the 1987 was your birthday.
Yeah, no.
I mean, mine's 85, so I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna follow this chick.
Okay.
Big Thrift Philly. Super glad to see you here. Just don't want to miss you guys. Kelly Martin's here. I love nice buyers who leave nice feedback. That's true. I need to leave more buyer feedback. Like, I don't leave a lot of feedback from my buyers. Do you?
Oh yeah, every time.
Make me feel bad.
So what I did, so you don't feel bad. What I used to do for the longest time, actually, what I used to do is I would wait until I got feedback from the buyer. Good feedback.
So just go in there after they leave me and then just like reciprocate it.
I would do that. But then I started watching a lot of YouTubers, some of whom are in this chat right now, who would say, and actually I believe it's Don the Auction Professor who always says this, and it stuck with me. He said, look, the buyer owes you nothing. Once they purchase the item and it's paid for, they've done their part.
That's what Scott Cha-Ching King says.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, that's totally true. Like if I screw up and something gets broken or I send the wrong thing or it has a flaw that I didn't disclose or whatever, those things like really never happen. But if it did, it's my bad. And so it's my fault. I shouldn't be bad at the buyer that they're unhappy. So ever since then, as soon as they pay for the item and I print the shipping label, I send them positive feedback. And
do you have it set up like Courtney does?
No, because does she have automatic?
She
Yeah,
says,
no,
Bolo Buddy says I have it set up to leave auto feedback when they pay.
I don't, only because you have to have a certain level of a store to
Mm.
have that feature
Yeah,
at
mine's
the
like pretty
site.
basic level too.
Yeah, yeah, mine is a basic store, and I think you have to be the one above that, the whatever the next
Mhm.
one is. But
So how many items do you have listed on your various platforms right now?
we have about 1,400 and change on eBay. Oh, I lost track of Poshmark. I don't even know. Like I said, it's just sort of like whatever's on there. Mercari, I might have like 50. It's very, I mean, it's really just eBay. And when I remember to cross post, I cross post into Mercari.
Gotcha. Jiminy Flip It says it's the other way around. Always leave feedback for your buyer immediately, and that enhances the chance you'll get a positive in return. And then
Yep.
Dom is also making me feel guilty. I give feedback as soon as they pay.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I get it. I get it. I'll turn it on tonight, or I will just start leaving positive feedback immediately. I usually wait until the item says delivered or a day or two after it's delivered to leave feedback in hopes it reminds the buyer, oh, hey, I should review this.
That's how I
I
used to
will
do it. Yeah.
I endeavor right now publicly to be better at leaving feedback for my buyers. I could do a better job at that, I'm certain. And that's what's so nice about this community. Like you can remind me of things that I'm probably areas where I'm weak or areas that I need to get better at. Because and so how long you said like the past 3 years really reselling online. So is that about how long you've been selling on eBay, or did you dabble in eBay at all before that?
Nope. 3 years.
That's it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Awesome. I must have seriously just started following you shortly after you started.
You did, which is so crazy because like I told you this when we talked, like I didn't know what I was doing on Instagram at all. I never even had a personal Instagram, and I got on Instagram and I'm like, what's a hashtag? How do you follow people? How do you do this thing? I'm old. I don't know all this like newfangled stuff. And now
It's so
TikTok, I'm like, oh
funny.
God, now there's another thing that I
I
gotta learn.
can't get on. I don't. TikTok blows my mind.
Yep.
That's great though. Like whoever it was that shouted you out, and I wish I knew who it was, but she must have been like, "Hey, my friend has a new page or something," because I feel like it was at least that long ago.
Yeah, you've been with me since the beginning. There's a few
See there,
people that were from
I'm
the
an OG.
beginning there. Hey.
Chris is here. Super glad to see you. Um, so my good thing, I'm going to tell you guys a story because I need the 82 of you guys to tell me what in the world I should do. And if I
Uh-oh.
was wrong, don't tell me if I was wrong. I don't really want that. But tell me my next move, what's right and wrong, okay? This is interesting. I'm going to round up the numbers to help everyone understand this. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have seen part of this story. So, I had a scarf listed. I paid $75 for a scarf. I had it listed for 200. A buyer came in and offered me $50 for my $200 listing. She offered me $50, 25%. And I was like, that is so insulting. I didn't say that. And she says, or he, I'm not sure who it was. I shouldn't even say that. They say, well, it's for a gift and I'm on a strict budget. And I'm kind of like, why are you looking at this brand of scarf? But nonetheless, I'm interested in the fact that they are interested enough in my listing that they would approach me with an offer. No offer is so low that like sometimes I laugh and share them with you guys, but I'm always going to counter. And so I counter 175. I came off $25.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a little less because it was listed at 196, but we're rounding numbers. So I said 175. Dom says I'm already blocking them at the $50 offer. No, it gets better, Dom. Okay. So $200 list, $50 offer, $175 counter, sold. So I was like, wait, what?
Oh.
And so you have the same look that I had, but the sold came with an immediate message. And I'm like, oh, great. So I click on the message and it says, I meant to hit decline.
Oh.
And I'm like, and I see the feedback is one. There's one feedback. Account's been open since 2018. One feedback. It's just from an item in 2018. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I'm doing other things. I'm trying to get this stuff cleared off of this table and listed. So I'll cancel the order later. Like I understand everyone makes mistakes, but I just don't have time right now to mess with this, right? You've already costed me a little bit of time for our negotiating today. It's going to be canceled, whatever. So I don't cancel it immediately. I go on about my day. Well, before I can cancel it, they send me another message and they said, can I trade it for this other scarf? So I'm like, wait a minute, they do want to still pay $175 for the scarf. They just want a different one. And then so I get on my computer because I'm gonna have to like copy and paste the link because you can have links in the eBay messages. And I copy and paste it, and it's a link to a $400 scarf I have listed. So I'm like, okay, so you will pay $175, but you don't want to pay it for that. You want to pay it for this $400 item. Again, it's a little insulting. Now, Tracy, you source the way I source. It takes hours. I mean, my store is so specially curated. I bring you the best, the finest things. I'm not selling $200 and $400 scarves because I'm listing like wish trash. Okay. So I send a message. Now, this is where you guys are going to decide in your minds whether or not I did the right thing. I send a message and I said, your initial offer of 25% of my list price was insulting. But to follow that up with to follow that up by asking me to buy an item twice the price of our now negotiated price is a further insult. I completely understand that you accidentally purchased this. I'm not holding you to it. And what did I say? I'm not holding you to it. I understand that you're not going to pay, and that's perfectly fine. I just wanted you to know, not coming across as rude, but I just wanted you to know how your messages are coming across to eBay sellers. I take hours to specially curate my store and to source these items. Like, this is a passion for me. It's not a hobby, and it is my job. Just to let them know, because they had one feedback, how they're coming across to people. It's not very nice, because I just thought if I had a brick and mortar and someone came in there, I would be like, buy something or leave. And I don't know if they caught me. They probably caught me. I'm just going to TMI for some of you guys, but they probably caught me in a PMS moment. Okay. And maybe I shouldn't have sent that message. What do you think? Should I have sent that?
I think I've been caught in that some similar mood before too. I mean, I saw, yeah, Misha said, pretty sure it's someone messing with you, Rachel. It does sound like that's a bit of like a mind game kind of thing.
Okay. And she also said she would have blocked him right away. This is not the end of the story. All of a sudden I hear a cha-ching, and she pays $175 for the scarf.
Ew.
So I'm like, oh crap. She maybe she didn't like my message. He, whoever, maybe didn't like my message and does like, now I'm worried. Now I have this $175 scarf sale to someone I may have ticked off. So I sent back another message, and I was just like, listen, I'm sorry. However, I might have, come across like, I don't think I said that. I'm sorry, because I wasn't sorry about it. I thought about it before I sent it. It wasn't out of the emotion. But I said, listen, you're laughing at me, but I'm just being honest. I said, I would never, I want to make sure you actually want this before I ship it out to you.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that I'm not forcing you into this. Everyone makes mistakes. And I do understand 100% that you accidentally clicked accept. You are not forced into this purchase, and I will gladly cancel it for you. To which they said, no, I do love the scarf and I want it. And so, like Lena's saying, they were not a serious buyer, just someone bored and then petty. Guys, they paid for it. What do I do? Blocked, and I would have sent the same message. That's shocking. No, you shouldn't have sent it, but I understand why you did. Like, my question for you, Tracy, and for everyone in the chat is, do I fulfill the order? Like, it has to ship out tomorrow.
I mean, I think you kind of have to.
I can cancel it.
Well, you could, but then you're faced with, okay, they didn't ask you to cancel, and you risk a ding. I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything quite that odd in terms of communication with a buyer. It's very odd, that whole situation.
And they said, thank you for your professionalism. They sent me that too. And I'm like, I don't know if that was sarcasm or if they truly understand that this is not a hobby for me.
I think it boils down to one of the things that I see on a lot of different YouTube channels is people talking about this kind of thing. And it boils down to, it's very hard to interpret communication through text messaging or email, any kind of electronic,
100%.
Right? You can't detect tone. You don't know if somebody speaks the same language as you. You don't know, how
sarcasm,
any of that. You just don't get it. And it's very easy for things to be taken the wrong way. Right? So he or she could have taken something the wrong way. You could have taken something the wrong way. I don't know. It does seem like an odd situation. I think, honestly, if it were me, I would definitely be uncomfortable about sending this scarf. I might even send back a message saying, just so that we're clear and I understand you, you want the scarf that you bought, right?
That's what they said. That's kind of
Okay.
what my last message to them was. And like Marketplace Boutique sending, make sure you send it nicely wrapped in with a thank you note. And that's what someone else gave me the suggestion. You better make them a super fan. Like make them your biggest fan by the way that you wrap that, include
Yep.
a freebie if you can.
Yep.
Turn
Yep.
this into one of their most positive experiences on
Yep.
eBay. And I'm just like, and for those of you, I'd never mentioned the brand, so it's an Hermes scarf.
I would do it. I mean, I would send it
I'm gonna
out
send it.
with all of that said, I would definitely take like extra care and make sure it looked like $1,000,000 and it was, wrapped in nice tissue paper, whatever you got to do. Cute
Melanie says make them
sticker.
sign for it.
You could do that. You could do that. But I would do it. Yeah, I would send it if it were me.
Okay, I'm going to, and if nothing else, it'll be a great story for next week, right?
Yeah.
And somebody says send it and then rate them as soon as you ship it. Good idea. I would 100% fulfill the order. If you get a negative feedback, contact eBay and they take it down. Yeah, I'm not on Facebook, but I see you guys and I see Josh, Harry Tornado talking all the time about Facebook. eBay for business on Facebook, that's where you can go to get like erroneous feedback removed. So I may have to jump on there if anything happens. Maybe it'll just be perfect. Backroad Bidder has the best advice here. You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a woman and that is my specialty. So
Right there with you, Rachel.
yeah, I would be worried they would say that you did not send the item. Yeah, I don't know. What scarf they think they're getting, the cheaper one or the 400? They think they're getting the cheaper one. I mean, as cheap as a $200 scarf is. So
Well, that's what they ordered and that's what they paid for. That's what I would send and just
yeah, because then I'll get item not as described and I've sent a $400 one. So
yeah, cross your
yeah,
fingers and hope for the best.
it's super interesting. Hello, Dave the Gent. I love that name. That's so fun. Have a glass. She said, have a glass of wine and forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my good this week because I kind of thought like, and I was sharing a little bit of the conversation over on Instagram, just laughing with everyone, like, look, I sold this. Aha, no, I didn't. I said it in today's episode of As the Reselling World Turns, because like I know, especially every pre-recorded video I have, I'm always trying to like be as positive as possible and cheerlead for you guys. And then I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm less than genuine. Like when something bad happens, you're going to see it first on my Instagram. So if you're not following me there, that's really where you're going to see the stuff that I'm just like, oh, why would this happen? And it's not to like counteract any of the positivity, but it's just because I would get sick if someone was always the silver lining on my cloud and then nothing cloudy ever happened to them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And bad things happen to all of us. Like on any platform with whatever you sell, you're going to have a problem buyer, you're going to have a, dishonest person, you're going to have somebody trying to scam you or get something. We all have that. And I think that, you can't like overthink that to death. You're in this business to sell things to people. And if they buy it, you send it, you do the best that you can, and you just move along. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Christopher says, I have a vintage CC, and I'm thinking he may mean Chanel, like 2 interlocking C's, Chris. Scarf that has been in a drawer for over a year and still have not listed it. So Christopher, that kind of reminds me. Courtney sent me the message about this cape, and Christopher picks up some really cool stuff. And Christopher, if you're open for a trade, I'm going to reach out to you on Instagram. I don't know what this scarf looks like, but even if not this scarf, maybe something that you have, I could trade you for this cape. That could possibly work. So yeah, he said yes, it's a Chanel one, but he finds some really cool stuff, and I don't know if he's got anything. Maybe I could tell you what I think the cape's worth, Chris. I'll reach out to you, but buyer may be sitting in the back of Gino's car. If you guys aren't sitting in the back of Gino's car, here's how you can get there. You head over to Gino's Finds and you subscribe. And then when you're in his sourcing videos, you don't have to sit in the back where sometimes the roof leaks and stuff. You get to sit up front with him.
We love Gino.
He's so awesome. Unfortunately, that's the reselling business. Deal with it and move on 100%. And it's something new every day. And what I love about it versus other like selling businesses that I have, you deal with any buyer or any situation for such a small time.
Yeah.
In any other business, your boss is your boss the duration of your employment there. Your coworkers, they're always the same. Like nothing ever changes. So if someone has a bad attitude, you're kind of stuck with them. But with eBay, even the worst attitude, and even if it ends up in a crazy return situation where you weren't in the wrong, it's over with when it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
and you get to move on to a more positive situation, like what you said with the people and the hair straightener, or it was a detangler, and it working out so well for them. So
Yeah.
I just think that's great. Anyway, so that was some good stuff. Has anything bad happened to you on eBay this week?
Actually, you know, I racked my brain trying to think of something bad that happened this week, and other than slow sales,
Okay.
you know, the sales have been really slow this week. They were not right after Christmas, but they've really slowed down this week. I even tried running a 10% off across the board sale, and that kind of didn't work either. What was happening was like people wanted 10% off and an accepted offer. So you know, that was sort of an experiment that didn't really go great, but you know, knock on wood, nothing. I couldn't even think of anything bad that happened
Do
at
you
all.
promote your listings on eBay?
Some of them I do, some of them I don't. It kind of depends on what it is. Most of them are promoted, but when I do promote, it's at 1%.
Well, maybe next time instead of doing like a store-wide sale, run a promotion for
Yeah,
that same duration for 10% promoted, because it's
yeah.
the same 10% to you, but think of like how much more that would mean to eBay, like how much more they would want to push that item out in front of people.
Yeah, I might do that. I thought about that. I'm playing around with some idea. I always experiment just to see what happens to work. I've used, you know, coupons, special coupons for buyers and different things. I'm always sort of trying to figure out what's going to work the best. And so this week, nothing terrible, thank God, but just
Just
sort
a
of,
little slower sales.
yeah, it's just sort of like, you know.
Yeah, I had actually, I was experiencing some slower sales, and then the other night, I'm, like, literally laying in bed, and I was like, "Nope, I wanna have $1,000 sales day today." And, that's only happened, like, a handful of times, and, I mean, I hadn't sold much at all that day, and I sit there and I start making, like, dramatic offers, and I think I had 111 items that I could make offers on. This was maybe Tuesday night, Monday or Tuesday night. Anyway, I start making all of these offers. I go in my Poshmark, I share everything, I drop prices on everything dramatically. I like unlisted and relisted all of these items, and I never do that, like sell
Wow.
similar. And by the end of the night, I had $675 in sales. So I didn't make the
Nice.
1,000, but I could not believe that. The day had been like nothing.
Nice.
But then I tried to do a lot of the similar things the next day, and it was like crickets, and that's when the scarf debacle happened. Christopher says, "I just listed on my Instagram a $40 air purifier that I bought and sold today for $500."
Whoa.
That's
Nice.
what kind of an air purifier is that? But there some of them are really
They
expensive.
are.
WEW is here. That's
Hello.
crazy. Everyone's telling Jennifer she's a rock star, and that's true. She's
She
bigger
is.
than the Stones. Yeah, she
Um,
is
Jennifer
pretty much a rock star.
indeed rocks. She does rock.
That's someone that if I whatever reseller meetup that I end up at, I hope that Jennifer's there, because what would be like if I got to meet everyone but her, I would leave like a little sad spot in my heart.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Oh, Drew says he's back. He knows that we all missed him. I did. He's definitely pulling dad duty tonight. He's got a lot of dad things going on this evening. You encouraging the silverware listing made my month on eBay and sales. That's awesome. Do you list a lot of silverware, Tracy, either silver plated or sterling silver?
Well, my partner in crime is a silverware hoarder and picks up silverware wherever we go, and is hoarding it right now for an undetermined amount of time for at some point when they're going to be listed. Um, I don't know when, but we probably have about 2,000 pieces of silverware right now.
That's a lot.
Just guessing,
You need to
or
sell
more,
that off by the pound or start
or
making bracelets.
yeah, we have there's certain things that we have that we've been collecting to sell that we have not actually listed yet. Silverware would be one of them. Vintage matchbooks would be another, and magazines would be another. We have so many magazines, old vintage magazines, and like print ads
You could do
that,
lots of the
yeah,
magazines.
we might do at some point a separate eBay store just for print ads. We're toying
Man,
with
you could
it.
open a whatnot for magazines or for vintage silverware if you could get him to accept you in those categories. John wants to know if you're typing with your brain via like telekinesis or something, because he doesn't see your hands moving and comments are popping up.
I am. I have very special powers. That's for me to know.
That's how I feel when John's in people's chats, though. Like, I'm sitting there watching him talk, and then all of a sudden a comment pops up, and I'm like, there must be a delay or something because I didn't see him type anything. Jessie said she was thinking the same thing. Yeah, she's pretty slick over there. And Misha says if Jennifer went to a meetup, everyone would turn up. That's true. Jennifer would not have to buy herself a single drink. She'd have to switch to water because everyone would want to buy her milkshakes or whatever she wanted.
And she deserves it.
She did it again, you guys. That's crazy. Both Tracy and I are drinking water with lemon tonight because Joey Bada Bing told us to.
I'm always drinking water with lemon.
That's his energy drink of choice, right? Oh man, I need to drink more water. I can see in my skin some days when I'm feeling more dehydrated than other days. And I know I drank more coffee than water that particular day. So we always play a little bit of a game here. And I know Carla wanted to know earlier in the chat about what one of your favorite items. What did she say the favorite item that you found or that you sold? Which one did she say?
I don't remember. I think she said sold, but I don't remember, honestly.
Okay, so think of which one that you would rather, favorite thing that you sourced or favorite thing that you sold, but don't tell us what it is. I know you've been in the chat enough to know what's going to happen with this game.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be, this is let's see, this is a monumental moment, a historical moment. You are the first guest I've ever had that knows that this is coming.
Really? Is that right?
I never had a guest know that this was going to happen. And I'm like, well, I can tell you don't watch the lives. So anyway.
Oh, busted. Better watch those lives before you're on Rachel's show.
Yeah. Here's the king of lives and games. Mr. Reminder, sorry I'm late. We're just glad that you're here. You're just in time for the game. He heard game, and here he comes running. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. He said, you mean seller? I don't know if he's talking to me or not. Oh, check the sodium in your lemon juice if it's in the bottle. Yeah, I'm kind of a sodium lover. I love all things salt, and I just drink soy sauce sometimes, you know. Anyway, so Tracy is thinking about now tell us, is this going to be your best flip or your best pickup this week or recently?
I'm gonna say we'll do best flip. Okay, I haven't had a stellar week here, but we'll do best flip. Okay. For several reasons, yeah.
So Tracy is going to put the paper on top of her head, guys, and she is going to draw a picture of her best flip. Now, after I type the word start, you guys are going to be able to guess what it is. And the first person to guess it, I'm going to buy you a drink. I will send $5 to your PayPal, and then you can do whatever you want with it. If that's not enough to buy you a drink, then go to Sonic or something. So last week, gosh, I ended up giving out 3 drinks actually because Zach had posted or drew a picture of something that was so difficult that we kind of figured out what it was in pieces. So all 3 people that figured out the pieces, I bought them all drinks. Okay, show it to us. Show it to us. I'm typing the word start. As soon as you guys see it, don't fix anything.
This is awful. I'm actually usually good at this game, but
okay, there we are. What is it, you guys? I don't want to say anything because I can clearly tell exactly what it is and don't want to give it away. But you guys, we have clock. It's a $400 scarf she got for $175. Oh, they all just jumped. Hang on, let me go back up. My chat is slow. I don't see it yet. Plush, doll, dolls, vest, figurine, scarf, LOL, lardons, action figure, doll, action figure, scarf, handbag, teddy bear, plush, coat, LOL, porcelain, oh, that's you, porcelain doll, jacket, a vest, a teddy bear, scarf for sure, Chuck, dead guy,
guy,
jacket. It does kind of look like a little chalk outlining. Just saying, a shirt.
All right. Tell me when you want me to say.
No, I don't want you to say it. Okay. These are smart people. They're going to figure it out. A scarf, a sweater, a suit, a voodoo doll, coveralls, a jacket, a teddy bear, Jordan's sweatshirt, decapitated body parts. Is that what it is? Type messages while holding paper with both hands. Yeah, she is.
Hey, I
She's
got skills.
she does have skills, and she's drinking water over there.
That's right.
Carhartt's a dead voodoo doll, stuffed dog, Gumby, a dress, a puzzle, a hat. Or do you guys need a clue? Part of a chicken, an action figure, glasses, a fur stole, a puffer vest. Is it a sports bra? It's a sports bra. Stuffed dog, crossbody bag, a floating fisherman. Okay, give them one clue. Don't give it away, Tracy. Give them one clue.
Uh,
A shawl.
well, it's vintage.
Okay.
And people have already said what it is, although it's a specific kind of what it is.
Doll.
Yeah.
Okay, a specific kind of doll, guys.
Yeah.
An elephant eating a baby Bruce. A Gucci jacket. Man behind the dude that farted. OU sweatshirt. Okay, so we know they said what's the circle on the shoulder. Okay, so don't tell them what it is. A gingerbread man, a wrestler, Cabbage Patch doll.
We're getting closer.
It's a type of doll, guys. Oh, they're still guessing Cabbage Patch. A Barbie doll, G.I. Joe, Ken doll, porcelain doll. Alexander, Ken doll, American Baby, Raggedy Ann, American Girl, Barbie, He-Man, Cabbage Patch, Pincushion doll, Barbie doll.
Nobody's hit the exact. I mean, you're not going to get exact, but
Annabelle?
there's a certain type of doll that nobody has said yet.
I think you're gonna have to tell us. I don't think we're gonna get it.
You want me to tell you?
Chatty Cathy?
Nope.
Are you guys ready? Is she gonna have to tell us? Maybe we can go back and see whoever got closest.
Okay.
Okay. What was it?
Can you see that?
Almost. Is it chalkware?
It's a rubber. It's a rubber faced.
Like a Rushton?
It's a rubber faced 1949 rubber faced doll.
Wow. What is it? Rushton brand or something similar?
It's a Beanie and Cecil talking rubber faced doll made in Hong Kong. It was actually working.
You tell us about the doll. I'm just going back to see the first person that said doll.
Okay. Hang on here. Let me get more detail on it. I know. So I picked up quite a while ago. I picked up a box of rubber face dolls from somebody locally, and I had never sold rubber face dolls before. And I have made an insane amount of money on the rubber face dolls that were in there. I picked up the entire box for $40. And this is like the fifth one that I've sold, possibly. Where is he? I was looking for the full description here. Where'd he go? But yeah, he's he's one of these, he's got a rubber face and a soft bodies, and he pulled a string and he says a variety of different sayings.
I see Eclectic Element said doll first, but I also see that All Star Vintage actually said rubber face doll. So
that's what it is.
If both of you guys will DM me over on Instagram, I'm reseller Rachel Strickland. DM me your PayPal and I'll send you both a drink. $5.
Cool, congratulations. It was made by Mattel in 1949. It's based off a comic strip. It's called Beanie and Cecil. And Beanie is the little boy that's the doll that I showed you. And Cecil is this sea serpent who's his friend. And some of you might remember on Instagram, like a year ago, I sold the Cecil, the sea serpent, to a collector who bought it for like $175. It was just this big giant stuffed steak. And he bought it to clean it, take all the stuffing out, replace all the stuffing, and refurbish this Cecil snake. And he sent me a photograph of his collection of about 125 of these snakes gathered around a Christmas tree.
Oh, that's not creepy or anything.
It's awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I was like, oh my God. That's one of my favorite of all time eBay things that have ever happened to me is that. And
Scott's
so
happy for you.
yeah, yeah.
That's straight up his alley of something he would pick up. Good evening, Scott. Glad to see you here. Oh, Christopher brings up a good point. He said, "What about me?" I said, "Elephant eating a baby Ruth." That is pretty close.
Here, can you here?
Get really close to where it takes out everything else around it, and then it'll focus the color in on just that. Like it'll be bright at first. There you go. That's all the snakes looking
That's
at his
all the
tree.
snakes. Do you see them all?
That is the weirdest thing.
Can you imagine? That's your collection. Look how many of them there are. And mine is in there somewhere.
They're all the same thing.
They're all the same thing. And they're
How
all
much did you sell it for? That
like $175, something like that.
that collection is worth thousands then.
Yeah. Yeah, and he had to like do like a tremendous amount of work to restore it, but that's like his labor of love, I guess, you
That's
know.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Kelly remembers Beanie and Cecil. That's really cool. That's an impressive collection. And Jesse is a little bit shocked, but would love it if it was butterflies, I bet.
Yeah.
Danielle, another really cool vintage seller, is here stopping in to say, hey, Danielle, I need to have you come hang out with me on a Friday night sometime. Let's talk about that over on Instagram because she sells so much cool vintage. Do you follow her?
Yes.
I love the stuff she picks up. I could thrift with you or with her all day long because we would go to the same places. The only trouble is we'd have to like split the lot somehow.
I know. We'd be like, I saw it. No, I saw it. I want that. I want that.
Yeah, because she picks up some really cool vintage stuff too.
Don't you find that when you're out sourcing, you find things and you go, oh my God, this is so like Jesse. I find stuff that's like Jesse all the time. I'm always like,
Yeah.
Jesse would wear this. Jesse would love this. It's a butterfly. It's a doily. It's a lace, you know, whatever.
I found something for Jesse the other day. I found something for Trevor 10th Street Market's wife, and I still haven't sent either of them.
You know.
Oh, yeah. Joey says he loves that game. Joey needs to come on here on a Friday night too. And I would love
Joey,
to see
let's go.
Yeah, I'd love to see him play that game and get to drawing now, Joey. We'll figure out a Friday that you're available and not busy listing 800 things. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you got 2 people a drink with that game, and your drawing was really one of the best I think that we've had.
That's not saying much.
Chris says I always have Jesse finds. I feel like when someone has like such a loud personality and like such a very specific style, it's easy to find stuff that you're like, oh, it makes me think of this person. Every time I pick up pictures, I think of Danielle Yard Selling Dreams. Or like if I ever find slides, I'm gonna think of her and have to share them with her because she does, a lot of slides and stuff. Scott said his drawing was the best, but my mom is always like, if you don't have anything nice to say. So anyway,
so there.
I don't even remember what his drawing. He had a shirt. It was a shirt with pointy collars. That's what it was. Yeah, Drew says we basically create a new NFT every Friday night, which is true. We just need a platform to start listing these NFTs and give you guys something else to sell. Tracy, I like to sell weird stuff sometimes, like a potato chip or some acorns or cicada shells. Have you ever sold anything that, in the eye of most people probably wasn't worth anything? And I don't mean like bought something to resell, something really weird. Have you sold anything bizarre like that?
Well, I have sold some bizarre things. I don't know that nobody would see the value in it. To me, the rule is the weirder the better. Like weird sells, and I cannot help but to pick up things that I go, what the heck? And so one of my favorites was the stuffed, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but I didn't do it. Okay, just to be clear,
it's taxidermy, isn't it?
Yes, I did not make this. I did not kill it. I did not do this.
That's all right.
Okay, I found a vintage 1950s stuffed taxidermy baby alligator dressed up for the beach.
This is so odd and specific. You didn't sell that on eBay though.
Yes, I did.
For
a lot of money.
Like pre you knowing that you can't sell taxidermy on eBay?
Yeah.
You got away with it apparently. That's all that matters, but
yeah. I didn't know. I kind of wondered, but I was like, well, I mean, it's vintage, it's a souvenir, it's a collectible. I mean, these were made like, and they were made in Mexico and they were sold in Florida to tourists in Florida. And
Yeah.
they had little straw hats and a beach towel around their arm and they had sunglasses. It's on my
Mhm.
Instagram if you ever want to see it. But
Mrs. Louisiana gave me a head, just the head of
oh,
the little baby gator.
oh,
Um, yeah, she was my roommate at Mrs. America, and she brought me just an alligator head, and she didn't know she was rooming with a vegan probably.
well, I'm sorry,
I
Rachel,
still
but
have it.
you know,
It was
okay,
nice.
okay, yeah. Well, I just thought it was just, again, that's one of those things where I saw it at a yard sale and I was like, I cannot leave without this. Like I toyed with the idea of keeping it because it was so weird and so cool, but I have too many things that I bring home and I think are weird and cool and I keep. So my house is like overflowing with cool weird stuff. So I can only have so much cool weird stuff.
I love the clocks behind you. That's a beautiful wall.
Barometers.
Oh, I can tell that you're a collector. Now, when I find barometers, I'm going to think of you. I pick those up because if you guys aren't aware, they're good sellers. That's something that can hang on your wall until it sells. Because like the big ones, like that one to your far right, I mean,
Yep.
those are over $60 sale.
Yeah.
I sold one to someone in Canada, and they were willing to pay the shipping for a barometer that size.
Barometers are one of the things that I always am on the lookout for and I never sell.
Oh, nice. Well, if I find any little cute ones, I'm gonna have to send you a barometer as a thank you for being on here with me.
Aw.
Angela says, "Thanks, ladies, for inspiring me to send offers. I just left a crazy toxic relationship and have not had motivation to work. Delist stuff, send offers, like share your Poshmark closet if you're on Poshmark, drop some prices. There are a lot of things you can do, especially in those moments where you're lacking motivation. And it's totally okay, Angela, because like you're self-employed for a reason and your mental health is just as important as your physical health. If you were physically ill, you would take some time to yourself. So if anyone
Absolutely.
hadn't told you today, we totally believe in you. And I hope that those are some tips that'll get you through what could be a difficult time right now.
Mhm.
Back in the 90s, I sold 100 board feet of mesquite lumber to another woodworker in Alaska. It cost $125 to ship. Now, that's something I would wonder, like, are there interstate laws as far as selling lumber? If it's treated, maybe not.
I don't know, but I believe Scott that used to be Scott's business, I believe, right? Like
He used to be a
wood and
superintendent.
furniture and stuff?
He was a superintendent of a school.
Yeah, but before that, I think he did like furniture
Oh,
and wood and stuff like that.
he's
I believe.
probably done a lot of jobs.
Yeah, yeah. Now, talk about all right, talk about somebody that finds the coolest stuff on earth. That guy and Melody have like a knack. They
Yeah,
find like some of the stuff that Scott posts on his
very one of a
Instagram.
kind.
I'm like, "What? You found that? Like in the wild at a store, at a yard sale? You found that?" Like I just can't even believe the stuff, just
And like it takes the right seller who has an appreciation for it, because when I appreciate a shirt and someone else just looks at it like it's trash, if they were to photograph it, they're not gonna zoom in on those beautiful buttons and show the pointed collar and the darted back and the paper tag and then tell you a story about it in the description.
Oh, his
Like,
descriptions are second to none. His
yeah,
descriptions, I literally I don't know how he has the time to
he's
do
probably
that.
speaking it into his phone or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but his descriptions I absolutely love. Like he should make a book of those. Like just
Yeah.
not as like a how-to book, but just as like entertainment
Oh,
to
that's true. That would be fun.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just
Because they're just
yeah.
amazing. They're so
There's another
funny.
idea for you, Scott.
Yeah.
Adam wants to know, how do people search weird? I mean, who searches stuffed alligator beach bum, right? There are categories in eBay though, and I'm sure he knows this probably, but in case anyone doesn't, for odd,
Yep.
and then it goes into like slightly unusual, really bizarre. Like those are the actual category names. And when I listed the cicada shells and the potato chip, I listed them under those categories.
Yeah, I think oddity is one too. If you say like oddity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Gino says, I love that alligator. Thanks again for sending it, Tracy. For a second, I was like, wait, did Gino buy that? I was going to collect barometers, but I couldn't take the pressure.
Oh, he's here all
That
week.
was Veronica, I'm super glad that you're here. We don't see the emojis, but I understand it's two people hugging. I think that means it's an emoji. If not, I'm just glad people are hugging. Tracy, how are you texting in the chat?
I'm
Oh,
magic. I have special powers.
I'm so glad that John, you were here tonight, and I can't wait to hang out with you next week.
Thank you.
Stand up didn't work out either, did it, Scott? Told you guys he had lots of jobs. Oh,
Mm.
Lordy, now I'll think of Tracy when I find barometers, and I'll think of Rachel when eating potato chips. Chips.
See that? Barometer.
Super glad to see you here, Paul, the flippin' sports guy. Yeah. So Scott said the lumber business was not his, but he did his own lumber mill and build furniture.
See? I told you. I pay attention to some things.
James is here. Happy Friday, James. I hope you're doing awesome. Q says, that's how I felt about the awesome vintage keyboard I found. Most people would have thought outdated. I said awesome. Q, I'm not going to say anything about that keyboard because I don't want to ruin a video, but yeah, she found a really cool keyboard, and just definitely subscribe and hit the notifications if you want to know about that sale because it is a good one. But yeah, and Jennifer just dropped James' link, my boring reseller life. Far from boring, by the way. So occasionally some really ugly stuff happens on eBay. The bad stuff we can usually work through. The bad stuff could have been like my scarf deal, but in sending them a message and talking, I think maybe we worked it out and you guys talked me into just quit overthinking it and send the daggum scarf out, Rachel. So tune in next week if you want to know how that went. But the ugly stuff is nope. No dice. It's not going to result in a sale, or I lost an item, or there's sometimes ugly stuff. If there's nothing you could do to prevent it and save it, at least tell us what happened so that maybe we can learn from your mistakes. That is more than griping about the stuff that happened on eBay. That's the point of the show, is to teach us something. So Tracy, I know you didn't have much bad. Did you have something ugly that happened on eBay this week?
I had nothing happen.
Nothing.
I usually, I gotta say, and I hope I'm not jinxing myself in any way here, but I usually don't have any ugly on eBay. I mean, I've had some odd things. I've had a couple difficult buyers. Last year with the post office, that was really stressful with them losing packages all over the place and things not being delivered. I've had smashed items before, nothing recently in a while. So for ugly, I kind of came up with, and I won't even say it's so much ugly. And I think probably most people can on some level relate to this, even if it's at not maybe this point in time in their reselling career, but at some point. Ugly for me is me feeling like things aren't where I want them to be in my business. So for instance, I have a overwhelming death pile. I'll admit
you really do.
My name is Tracy and I'm a hoarder. I do have an overwhelming death pile of.
That should be one of your first videos. Then, since everyone saw it, you'll really feel vulnerable to get it listed.
I know. And I do work on listing it all the time. My problem is I can't stop buying more stuff. So, I start to make a dent. I go, okay, I'm going to list this pile, and I list that pile and I go, yeah, I listed this pile. And then I go, oh, I have a new pile. So that's one thing. So I do have to, and with, we're building a reseller barn and an office out there, and we're doing a lot of reorganization. So I hope in 2022, I'm going to just sort of develop better habits and better systems for that. I also have a full-time job, so it's
with 1,400 listings in your eBay and you still have a full-time job. That's incredible.
Yeah. And so I can't always do things to the level that I want to do them. The other thing is sort of we've spent the past 2 weeks seriously hardcore working on getting ready for tax returns because I wasn't so great at bookkeeping this year. Yeah. I have everything I needed. It just wasn't in where it needed to be in. So that doesn't help at a time when eBay is slow and I should really be listing. But I have to do all this other stuff. So I bit the bullet this year and I did hire a CPA, and he basically said, you're in great shape. You're doing just fine. There's just a few things that I need. But it took 2 weeks of really putting our nose to the grindstone and getting everything into GoDaddy and getting all our receipts together and being organized and doing all that other stuff. It's not something I enjoy doing. So
That's kind of ugly, isn't it?
it's kind of ugly, but it's sort of like it's what we have to do. And
It's so necessary.
It is. And with 2022 and all the new tax laws, as we know, you may have been sliding before on some things, and I don't think anybody's sliding in 2022. Not that I, attempted to slide, but I just need to be more organized. And now the good news is going into 22, now I am organized from getting organized from 2021. And so now I feel equipped to kind of keep that going. And
that's good to have that thought process beginning in January, because you're like, okay, now's the time for me to like put this hat on and make sure that I am better this year about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Leanne is here. We're super happy to see you, Leanne. I'm not sure why Christopher would let everyone know this, but I hope y'all save me some so when I get off of here, I can still order them. I see USPS have the padded envelopes back in stock online. Everyone can stop fretting about it. Here's Little Miss Q had an ugly. She said I shipped the wrong action figure and offered them to keep the wrong item and refund, and they were still nasty. Dang, I don't know what else you could have done other than so keep the wrong. The one that they bought, did you accidentally ship it out to someone else? Because maybe like keep that one and I'll send you the other one. That way they would still get the one that they ordered.
I've done that. I had somebody buy a Hello Kitty ornament, and by accident I sent a Hello Kitty bobblehead, and they sent it back and they said, love the bobblehead, but I ordered the ornament. And I said, oh, guess what? I'm sending you the ornament, keep the bobblehead. And they left me good feedback. So I always try to make, lemonade out of lemons. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, there's some things you just cannot control. And I mean, if it's out of your control, you can be sympathetic about it. But sometimes you can't control someone else's reaction to whatever it is that you do. So just offer your best customer service, I guess. Try not to message people when you're PMSing. Wait, what happened with your scarf, Rachel? I watch all your videos regularly. I'm sorry I missed it. If you recently mentioned it, you did not. Yeah, it's I guess I'm shipping it out tomorrow. That's what happened with it. Well, I don't feel bad now. I'm about 300 item death pile. That's why it took 2 months to list the silver spoons. It's a lot of stuff. The thrifting is the fun part. I totally get it. It is. Yeah, that's hard. But like Courtney Bolo Buddies and Drew Profit Monster are both in love with the listing. And I spend a lot of time on their channels and in lives with them and stuff like that. Like I want to surround myself with people that are where I want to be. And since they love the listing, those are two people that you can surround yourself with that will encourage you to love the listing process as well. Because that's where we're going to get a cha-ching. Thrifting does not make you any money. And I had to remind myself of that today because I wanted to stop by another store. My husband delivered Meals on Wheels with me today. And afterwards I said, I drug him into a store and I wanted to go to another one, but then I had to remind myself because he didn't want to go anyway. But I was like, thrifting doesn't make you money.
No.
Listing does, shipping stuff does, all of the other things is what truly makes you money. Time for me to go, but great live stream. We're super happy you were here, Smitty. Nice to meet you, Tracy. Look forward to more content on your channel. Do you want to, well, let me get through a few of these chats and then we're going to talk about your channel some more, Tracy.
Okay.
Maybe we can start a hoarder death pile support group. We can have cocktails and snacks and not list anything, Kelly.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's funny. I've recorded my death pile 5 times, but never can make myself upload the video. Oh, I uploaded a video. Mine was multiple rooms. The very first video of the death pile to a car challenge. I'm like as vulnerable as possible with you guys. You're never going to see me like skew my numbers or anything. And my numbers are way worse than some people's, but maybe way better than other people's. And so it's never meant for comparison. It is just to be as transparent as possible. I'm so sorry I missed this because I'm so far in the chat. I'm so far behind and it's about to expire and I won't be able to click on it. So let me click on this real quick. Christopher, thank you so much showing support and $1 burgers for hubby. That's hilarious. I heard KFC has vegan chicken now, so maybe we can there's not a KFC around here though. Thank you so much, Christopher. That's super awesome. Try to go back here and see. Don't feel bad with your death pile. I have 5 storage units full from over 20 years of selling on eBay. 5 storage units, but James has like a million things listed
I
also. James,
know.
tell us how many listings you have, James. My husband says my bad and good was the same thing. Found out Google suspended my company business page. That's true. But contacted them and it should be back up soon. Not even sure
Oh,
why it happened. That's
my
true. And I was
goodness.
comparing that with him today. I was like, that's like reselling. Like when Mercari like shut down Cat's store, the nurse Flipper,
Yeah.
they didn't give her a reason.
Yeah.
And like as resellers, we're so dependent on these different platforms. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Mm-mm.
There was one day Facebook was down. There was one day
Yep.
Instagram was down. There was one day eBay was down. Mercari was down the other day.
Yep.
Imagine if all you did was sell on one of these sites and they crashed with your money still in it.
Yeah.
Don't leave your money in it and try to diversify as much as possible. Santa says he's got to go check on the elves. Bye, Santa. I'm super glad that you're here and thank you again for I'm going to call it an early Christmas present. I appreciate you guys so much. I just can't believe that anyone would super chat me anything, but it means a lot, you guys, because I'm in love with YouTube and I make tens of dollars doing it. So when you guys come in with super chats, it just means the world to me because I probably work on YouTube more than I do reselling, hour per hour. I make more definitely reselling, and that's how that's my income. But I'm just so in love with the process of YouTube, and I find myself making videos lately when I'm like not even like I don't even have video to make it. I'm like, oh, let me grab this real quick, and I'm going to tell everybody about this. And so there's a few waiting to be edited right now. What are you looking most forward to about YouTube, Tracy?
Honestly, I think I feel like, and probably some people can relate to this. I know like almost everybody has a YouTube channel at this point that's in the chats and the lives and stuff like that. But as somebody from the outside looking in for the past few years and, always being on Instagram and having people that I follow and people that follow me and the interaction of that community, but not being on YouTube, you're sort of like in a different space, even though it's the same community. And I feel like people who aren't on YouTube, not from you, Rachel, because actually you're and there's a lot of people who are YouTube creators who welcome everybody sort of equally across the board, but it's not that way with everybody.
Yeah.
And so I have always kind of had this sense that people can't really get to know me and what I do and like even interact with me on that same level without having the channel. So for me, doing the channel is more about being a bigger part of the reselling community and getting to know
Yeah.
people like on a deeper level and just sort of making those connections just, bigger and better than really anything else. It's not a money making thing. I'm not even so sure how the heck I'm going to do it right now, because I have no time ever to do anything I have to do already. But I'm hoping to learn and have some fun and make connections with people I haven't connected with yet.
I love that your goal in creating a YouTube channel, it sounds like, is to pour knowledge into the community and to put stuff in, which it's just so valuable. That's 100% how I learned to resell. And it sounds like that's what started you in reselling. So I'm
Yeah.
going to assume that's probably how you learned to resell also. And there's so many great people on that give out free information on YouTube. There's a million fantastic resellers we've never even heard of. They're not on Instagram or YouTube. So you don't have to have either to be a great reseller. But when someone is willing to give their time, because YouTube is a lot of giving your time, especially in the beginning, it's just so great. So I'm glad that is your motivation behind wanting to have a YouTube channel. I think you're going to be so good at it because like I've learned about a ton of things just from looking at your Instagram. And you don't have a whole lot of space in the caption to really educate people, but you still do a phenomenal job doing that.
Thanks, Rachel. Right back at you.
Christy said, your coat listing video was perfect. I missed the live, but watched the replay and was really productive during that time. I even got a cha-ching after liking the video. Carissa is smart. That's true. That's true. Okay. Gino, we are super glad to see you tonight. So good night.
Gino.
I'm always glad that you're here. We'll see you in the front seat. James said 29,000 listed.
My God. Can you imagine?
No.
I don't even get it.
That's why his inventory is like so perfect and strategic, and because you got 29,000. If that blows y'all's mind, then you need to put like the mind blown emoji in the chat just so I can not be the only person that's mind blown. I thank my death pile every year by setting up a big about mile long yard sale. Okay. Oh, she thins her death pile. I make a small profit and trade it for stuff I'm more likely to list. That's a great idea.
Wow.
Or
Yeah.
Whatnot now. You can thin your death pile with Whatnot. Hey, Chosen Goods reseller. We were just talking
Hey.
about you. I'm sure you saw it now, but in case you didn't see it before you said that, someone was just chit-chatting about you. And everyone's saying hi to her. And Chris is so loved. If
That
you
was an
guys aren't
awesome
subscribed
show.
to her channel, you definitely need to. Yeah,
I
I love
found
that
her
what you're
through
saying.
you.
Do what?
I found her through you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A rural squirrel says she echoes the same thing that you said, Tracy, about the motivation behind having a YouTube channel. So what types of videos are you gonna put out before anything else? Like what are the ones you cannot wait to make?
Well,
Hi, Lena.
I think I'm going to try to do a couple tutorials because I love watching and like you just said, I learned by watching people on YouTube. I mean, I have absorbed probably like everybody here in the chat. I've absorbed, hours and hours and hours and hours watching, 20 different people packing shoes or packing breakables or how to clean lint off a sweater or how to get the white on the sneakers white again or yada yada yada, whatever it may be. And there's always another way to do it. So I don't want to be like redundant and do the same thing that everybody's done. So I'm looking to try to find my way of doing things and
Yeah,
sharing
like
that.
put your spin on it.
Yeah, and it might be a better way for some people, and other people may look at it and go, "Oh no, I like the way I do it better," and that's all good. If you're having good results with the way
Yeah.
you do it, by all means, keep at it. I'm really looking forward to yard sale season and making yard sale thrift with me videos
If
because
you make yard sale videos, just prepare for a ton of subscribers because that's
yeah,
the popular stuff. That's where
yeah.
I struggle though, Tracy, is like sourcing videos. I just put out that sourcing video this week and I asked people at the end, how do you guys feel about sourcing videos? They are the last thing I reach to make. And I think that you guys like them. Overwhelming in the comments. We love sourcing videos.
Yep, and they're my favorite too. I have
That's your
certain
favorite to watch?
my favorite to watch. And I have certain people that I love watching, especially that I could just sit there and watch them all day long.
That's
Um,
great.
and so and for me, I would say I'm more of a yard sailor than I am a thrifter. In all honesty, I will go to thrift stores and I mostly go to them in the seasons here where it's too cold for yard sales. But if given a chance, you got a yard sale here and a thrift store here, yard sale's going to win every day of the week. So they're more fun for me. They're more challenging for me. They're more like, to me, like what a treasure hunt should be. You have
Yeah.
no expectation. There's nothing categorized. You don't know what you're going to find.
Could be
It's
garbage, the
it
bottom of
could
the toy box, or it could be sterling silver silverware. Good night,
ab-
Chad.
absolutely. And that's really where I tend to find my very best favorite stuff is at yard sale. So that's what I'm really looking forward to is, yard sale, thrift with me videos and hauls.
Joey loves making sourcing videos. So if you guys really like sourcing videos, check out him, check out Tracy, and I'll get better at it, you guys. Like,
You
are
do
you
great.
going to be using your phone or like a flip out camera or a GoPro? What do you think you'll start with?
Well, I have a GoPro and I'm just really like dirter with it. I cannot get I just can't get the grasp of the GoPro. I'm always like, what, where, I get this like,
Did I push one time or two?
yeah,
Yeah.
I wind up like coming back in the car and everything's in slow-mo or it's all
Or you
upside
didn't
down.
record at all?
Yeah, I can't figure out how to offload it. I'm just really like just not good. So I might do the Dominic style where it's just all on my phone and then edit it into, the best parts. I might just have to do that. I don't know. We'll
Phones
see.
have great quality. Like,
They
don't feel
do.
the need. My phone or my camera film better than the GoPro that we own, and so I don't use. But I'm like, maybe I should start wearing it, or at least keeping it in the car because then I would, or keep it in my purse. I would be more likely to film when I source because it's the last thing I'll click on. If someone has a sourcing video, that's the last one. I'm just like,
Really?
yeah, I'll
That's
watch
so
that or I'll play it in the
interesting.
background or something to support my friends, but I'm not at least
Really?
like if some other stuff's peppered in there, like I don't know. It's just not I love a good what sold video. I want to know all the bolos. I enjoy Courtney's channel for that
Me
reason. I
too.
like the Nurse Flipper for that reason.
Yep, me
Um,
too.
like those are a lot of the channels that I like came up as a reseller watching because there's just so much knowledge and information. And I don't know. I mean, I guess, but when you think about it, no wonder it's people's favorite. Like, we don't watch American Pickers and he's like, well, we went to this barn and here's what we found. We watch
Yeah,
American Pickers because we see him in the barn and we see him actually unearth this or tractor tire and then tell us what it's worth. And like, no one's watching him say, this is what our store sold this week and this is where we got it. You know,
absolutely.
yeah. So, I mean, and yeah, that's what Carla told me in my video. She's like, no, it's my least favorite. And there was only like 3 of us that said that that was our least
Wow.
favorite.
I guess it
But
never even occurred to me that people didn't like sourcing videos because I just love sourcing videos. To me, it's sort of like I feel, especially with certain people that do it so well, I feel like I'm sort of, seeing through them. And as they're scanning, like a tarp full of, toys or a bunch of junk, and then they kind of hone in on one thing and they go, this is all a bunch of worthless junk, but here's this one thing. And I'm like, yes, and then they go like Commonwealth Picker. Kevin is great at that. Matt, part-time pickers. I could watch all day long him. And I love the interaction. I think that's a big part of it with me. The interaction between the resellers and the people at the sale, whether it's, just popping in randomly to like a yard sale or an estate sale or a church sale, or whether it's like a private pick that's already been set up. I love that like interaction, the human component of it, where there's like negotiation and there's like, it's just a whole, I don't know. That's just my thing. I love that. I could watch it all day long.
like the channels that have more than one channel, a picking and a flipping, Commonwealth and NC, neither one of them did I even know about the picking channel like for a long, long time.
Really?
I didn't even know they had second, and I was like, oh, Commonwealth has a picker channel. I had no idea. I only
Okay.
just watched him in his shed where he told me about the stuff.
That's
Because I'm
funny.
like, but I watch if I'm watching something, it's a documentary. I'm like, I gotta learn something.
Mhm.
I can't sit down and just watch like TV. I'm
No, me
that
neither.
person.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe but it's just so interesting and it's something to keep in mind, Tracy, how everyone comes at things differently because
Yeah.
we want to be mindful of our audience. So now you're gonna have an audience. You don't have to know what it is that they like. Drew
Yeah.
said, would it be weird if he wore his GoPro like an eye patch?
Weird and wonderful. Try it out. You'd be like a cyborg.
Yeah, that'd be great. Susan along the way says she's in the process of moving and then going to dive back into making some more videos. Currently only have a few. I appreciate you subbing. That's awesome. I want to go check those out.
Definitely.
Adam is wrong. He said Rachel just admitted to never watching my lunch break picking videos. That's not true, first of all, because if there is a sourcing video I like, is a thrift store sourcing video. My absolute least favorite, and this isn't against anyone that makes these because they are wildly popular, and it's probably why you have a bigger channel than I do. My least favorite are yard sale sourcing videos. What you're saying are your favorite.
They're my favorite. Yeah, and it's
I'll do
okay.
them.
Hey,
I love a
right?
good yard sale. I just need to, it's exactly what you just said, Tracy. And this is what's been resonating in my mind since I asked the question to my friends here on YouTube, and they all said that they love it. I have to figure out my Rachel spin on it. So that's all. I just have to figure out
Yep.
my way of doing a sourcing video. My favorite reseller channel is Josh and Haley, Harry Tornado, and they source in every video.
Yep.
So that is not to say that if you are doing something that someone doesn't enjoy, that they're not watching your channel. They are probably, there's a handful of channels I'll watch every video they put out, but there's definitely, I'm watching every video they put out and they source in every video.
Yes, they do.
So, I mean, you're going to put out stuff that I'm going to love to watch and I'm going to be there to support you just because we're friends.
Aw.
Melanie says eye patch would be cool. So, yeah, the Nashville Flippers are here. I'm late, but I'm here now. I'm glad that you're here. And Drew says that he
Hello.
will look like a cyborg.
See, cyborgs are cool.
A Teen Titan.
A vegan cyborg.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm an anomaly. I'm sure that I am. What about Amazon bin videos? So, I will again watch them because you're my friend and I want to support you. But yeah, The cat is out of the bag, isn't it? Now,
What?
now everybody knows that I don't like sourcing videos.
There's
Everyone else likes them. I am the only
what?
weirdo, you guys.
You're not a weirdo, and you're entitled not to like. We all have things that, I think you have. There again, there's so many YouTube channels, and there's so many different kinds of resellers and the way that they do things that even you can't even just go, I love sourcing videos, because I don't love everybody sourcing videos.
That's true, and they're all very different.
Right.
And if I do a sourcing video, I always put a voiceover over it because I appreciate that when I'm watching them. But some people, that's not their thing.
I thought yours was great, and I loved the way that you did it.
Yeah. It's just like reselling. Like everyone's business is different. And it's so fun because my husband and I were talking about someone's channel we tuned into. And like I try to be like loud and have this energy. And a lot of people I follow are like try to be loud. But then like this person was so soft spoken. And I said, Drew, that is absolutely someone's favorite channel because of how spoken they are, like soft spoken. And they might tune into my channel and be like, whoa, girl, I gotta click off. Like everyone enjoys something so much different. So I think you're gonna be so successful. And you kind of have to have a little bit of a thick skin sometimes, but just be consistent. Don't take anything too personal. If I see anyone in your comments coming at you sideways, then I'll attack them for you. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna be like, Rachel's gonna beat you up.
I don't even attack people that come at me sideways. One person I had to delete a comment because they swore at me and they had dropped the F-bomb because I was smiling. But then today I got a message that was like a sleeping face on a video, like they were snoring. Oh. And so I sent a firecracker emoji like to wake them up.
There you go.
And then they said, not only was it boring, it was poorly made.
Oh, geez.
Melanie says she loves auction videos, and that's something I've been talking about since like September, doing auction videos. So I'm going to get over to the auction, I think, and I could record that for you guys.
That'd be fun. Like you going to an auction, you mean?
Yeah, we have live auctions here. Yeah, and random chick, Leanne says I get to private pick a 4,200 square foot hoarded home. Oh, you gotta record that. It'll be one of your first videos. Girl.
I'll be watching that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, same. Amy says Ginger Marvin, super relaxing to watch. I love it.
Yeah.
From now on, when I make a video, I'm going to say, will Rachel like this video? That's so funny. I'm always a proponent of kill them with kindness. Honestly, that makes people so mad for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Melanie, I could totally do that, especially if you like auction videos. I told her to say, you're poorly made. He did say that. I was like, they just want an argument. I'm not going to say that. No. I'll just leave it there.
Leave it alone.
I saw some good advice this week, and I think it was on Triple Thrift Podcast. I'm sure it was Josh that said it. Someone was talking about what to do with negative comments. I think it was on there. Anyway, they were saying like, do you respond? Do you no, it wasn't on Triple Thrift. It was on a YouTube editing channel I was watching, trying to learn how to make better videos. And do you respond? Do you like bark back? Do you delete it? And someone was like, no, just absolutely ignore it. Like that's the best thing to do. So there's my advice to you, I guess, was the advice I got this week.
Sounds
auctions
good.
Are fun to go to. I wish I came across them more often. Do you do a lot of in-person auctions, Tracy?
Nope.
Have you ever been to an in-person auction?
I have a few times, but not in the past couple of years.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have to set a strict budget when I look at something at the auction because like it can get to be a contest really, really quickly, and you don't want someone else to get something. And estate sales can be oftentimes the same way because like that person is just standing right there and they want it. And that's how I ended up paying whatever I paid for that Louis Vuitton bag over there was because I didn't want someone else to have it because I was salty at the estate sale.
Yeah, I feel like it can get easily out of hand at an auction because you get into that competitive thing, which makes you spend more than you tended to spend, and then you forget about that little thing called a buyer's premium, right? So you can kind of go, oh, well, I paid up for this. Oh, wait, I paid up plus I paid a premium. So, and again, I am like very frugal. So it's hard for me to go, not that I wouldn't do it, but
we don't have a buyer's premium here on auctions or estate sales.
They do here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you have to pay a fee on top of what you pay.
Gotcha. Carissa, I'm glad that you are here and I totally understand. Family is absolutely first. Tracy, she said you're doing an amazing job.
Aw, thanks.
Drew said he hears an echo on your side. I don't hear it. Does anyone else?
I
Nikki and
heard
Gary
it.
said they hear an echo.
I heard it for a minute. Is it gone now? I don't hear it now. I heard it for like a second.
I didn't hear it at all. I have a pretty good
No?
auction video. It was my first time and I learned a lot. Oh, it's so fun to see people that have never been to an auction at their first auction, but sometimes you just feel bad. Like I watched a lady once, he brought up a tray of jewelry and he said, okay, so here we're bidding on choice. And so if you've never been to an auction, perhaps you wouldn't understand. And so she bids and she's paying like a lot more than what anyone's thinking she's going to pay choice on this. She wins. And then she goes up to take the tray out of his hand. So she didn't understand choice meant you get to pick an item, one item out of this tray.
Oh.
And he's like, no, you get one. And she's like, you were holding the tray. And he's like, I said choice. And it was just like, you felt so bad for her because she had no
Yeah.
idea. So if you're in a situation like that, then that means, you bid for the first choice because you get the pick of the litter here. And then they're going to auction off again. And it's always going to be for choice. And that last stuff's probably all going to go together, like a drawer.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's just in Drew's head. They said it's gone, but they did hear it. Yeah, it was probably me screaming or something. It's all farmer minute auctions here, so I wear red lipstick. Yeah, I think they get a kick out of me when I go to the auctions. They don't know what to make out of me, and then they try to get me to bid stuff up, especially like if like the auctions where no one has seen me before, and they're like, they catch on pretty quickly that I sell. And I have such a strict budget though. And I think a lot of people there are sellers, they have booths and stuff. And I
Yeah.
just can't imagine that they pay that much for some of that stuff and still turn a profit.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me is I'm used to yard sale prices and thrift store prices to pay up for an auction. And then like I said, here there's a buyer's premium. It sort of like puts me out of that, range of profit that I like to be in.
Yeah, there is no premium, at least at the ones I go to. Christopher says I went to an auction just to experience it and bid on a Rolex, and then someone bid against me. Long story short, I bought 2 Rolex watches for $8,000 each just so the guy wouldn't win. I know, bad strategy. No, that's me, Chris. Like that is 100%. I have to stop. I have to know going in what is your max, Rachel, because I will bid just to make sure you don't get it, and it's not a good strategy if you're trying to resell anything.
No.
Yeah. Drew's trying to be a scientist over there. Guessing they were worth more than $8,000 each. Maybe not. I could definitely see Christopher doing that just to make sure that they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever have an experience like that at an auction where you were just way overpriced?
No, I didn't let myself get there, but I saw other people doing it where, like you said, I was like, you're paying what for what, and I honestly think it's just people getting caught up in the moment and being competitive. And I do have a competitive nature in some ways. And I feel like I could get myself in trouble.
Yeah. I know. I think you're right. It is the competitiveness. So when are we expecting your second video to come out?
Jeez,
I'm putting you on the spot right here. I
Jeez.
know.
I know.
Accountability is a big thing. There's a reason why I speak out loud really audacious goals because I know you guys will hold me accountable. So
I'm shooting for within the next week.
okay, so this next week. She's not shooting for it. It will happen, right?
Okay, yes, sure. It will happen.
All these people are subscribing tonight. You guys better head over there and subscribe. And when she sees it, she's gonna be like, all these people are waiting. Give them something.
If you subscribe to me, I'll be motivated to do the best video you've ever seen in your entire life ever on any
and
channel
turn on the bell, and you're gonna be like, holy cow. Like I'm already impressed with just your intro video. It's so well edited. Q says she likes buying mixed lots that no one else wants. Yeah, I do enjoy that. And Christopher sold one of them for $12.5K and kept the other.
So there you go. It wasn't such a stupid move after all.
That made the other one only what, $3,500. So I never get the low-hanging fruit at auctions. I find the random weird thing that no one else knows is valuable. Yeah, that's true. Rachel will hold you to it, trust me. I did ask you the other day. I was like, I got on YouTube to make sure that I had my bell on because like I've been waiting on a video. I wasn't being like,
Better
I
late
was
than
being
never.
serious. I was like, I thought for sure I had missed a video of yours or something. She was
Mm,
sick and it's
yeah,
like put one out.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, she put one out like that day.
yeah.
Can someone please post Tracy's link? I'll post it if no one else is. I'm not sure who's who we have in right now that's mods, but I'll try to find it. If someone else post it before I get it, Tracy, tell me because I can't see you guys right
Oh,
now.
yeah, well, I don't know if Jennifer's still in the house, but she was posting it before. I don't know if
Um,
Jennifer left or not. She
I
wasn't.
better.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Courtney's got it.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I
Thank you,
never know.
Courtney.
Like, sometimes I'm in people's chat and I have to jump out for something. Or, yeah, Q said I was really sick, but still uploaded that day. Yeah, you guys have to go over to Tracy's channel, tell her that you met her over here in the live and you're rooting for her and are super excited. I'm too cheap for auctions. I've been called out for only bidding 10 cents an item at a church auction. This is 100% true. It was a silent auction, and my husband is the reason that they have minimums on the silent auction papers. They're like 10 cent, like where the money's to feed the children, Drew. And he's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I sadly I can relate to this.
Oh boy. Oh, that's true. That's hilarious.
Although at
Yeah,
the same time, I will say that when I do go to church rummage sales or thrift stores, I will usually donate extra.
yeah, I
Just
know.
that being said, I usually
And
go,
people are like, why do you get invited into the back of the thrift store at this one thrift store, one of my favorites? And I'm like, because we give to them a lot and we
yeah.
serve with them in ministry and we're like actually connected to them because that's what someone said in one of my videos. They're like, you should ask to get in the back room. I was like, they call me and invite me into the back room. Like, um, that is the best way for you guys to get like involved with your local thrift store is to volunteer to. And I'm not saying that should be like the reason. I don't volunteer at the thrift store. When they go do a homeless mission, I went and did the homeless mission with them. When they do tornado cleanup effort, we've helped with that. And like we're helping them on the ground when they are doing ministry. So that's a good way to get involved, isn't it?
It is. I just love like church thrift stores and church rummage sales are my favorite. And we
You
have
can't lose. They're
now,
doing God's work with the money. Like you
well,
cannot lose.
I find the best stuff there too. And I'm just a sucker for cute little old people. I just love them. Like that's like my soft spot. And I love going to any place where those cute little women are volunteer and they love us. Like we walk in there and they're like, "Oh yay, you're here." We set aside these things for you. Like they know us, and it's
Yeah.
just like I love them, it's so much different than like, I know other
Goodwill.
places. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I know the places that, they're doing a thing, they're supposed to be for certain thing or whatever, but it's just I feel better about spending money
Oh
and
yeah.
and having in places like that.
I mean, I tithe when I sell off of my stuff, but knowing that I'm buying it from a ministry who's also doing God's work on top of that, like that couldn't get any better. I know there's the blessed sales, right? Lindsay said same way on the mixed lots. I like staying until the very end at an auction when almost everyone else has left, so you don't have any competition. Bought our guest bedroom set, headboard, dresser, and nightstands that way. That's
Nice.
awesome. She bought the whole set for $5.
Hey, can't beat that.
Awesome. That's awesome. Just watch 10 seconds of your intro video. It's awesome. See, I told you that
Aw.
like the editing is so good. Did you do that intro yourself?
Yes.
And
Well,
Leanne said that you
my
get her
partner in crime
sarcasm. She likes you.
did
You what?
I said my partner in crime is mostly responsible for the intro and outro. It was a joint effort, but yeah, we're playing with stuff. We're trying to, like I said, newfangled is a challenge for me, but we're getting there.
So we're not gonna see him really on camera. We're gonna mainly be seeing you in these videos, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Even if we put the pressure on and beg.
Yep.
Yep. Tina, we're glad that you're here. Oh, that's great. Yeah, should have been $100. What about the starving children? I'm going to make dinner and go to bed. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. That's
Aw,
super
thanks,
sweet.
sweetie.
Old people are the best and their stories are heart touching. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like I say, well, head to like a small town thrift or a charity thrift store or something like that. Like the store that we went into today, they're just resellers. They do the same thing I do, but they just don't put it online. And I will go into their store just because I know I'm going to find something.
Yeah.
I know there'll be something in there that she gave me an entire box of photos for $5. So when I was in there today, I got 2 albums. I bought Fiddler on the Roof so I can listen to it because I already told you I'm a dork.
I
And
love Fiddler on the Roof.
I bought a Sonny and Cher album. And then she sold me these wrestlers, and she knows I resell. And then she sold me a box of 15 more vintage style WWE and WWF wrestler action figures, 15 of them, plus 2 of their Brawling Buddies pillows for
nice.
$11.
Hey, nice.
And so then I'm checking out and I'm still like, man, I only spent like, no, she said, sell me those for $10. So I only spent $12. And then I see this bull. It was like this, and I've sold one like a flocked bull toy, and he had the matador with him. And I've never seen a complete set, and it was like new condition. And I was like, how much is this? And she said $20. And I probably wouldn't have walked away at a thrift store or something, but I'm like, she just sold me this good set. These are my friends. I want other people in my town to be reselling too, because I actually do. I want everyone to be able to work, for themselves like this. And so I bought it just to support her. Drew's like, oh, I didn't know you were really going to buy that bull. And I was like, I'm going to display it until it sells too.
Oh, absolutely. I want to see that.
Lil Miss Q said she got 3 new subs from the chat. So thank you very much if you subbed. And Courtney says that she's got her husband in a few videos. I pulled Drew into as many videos as I can. People love him. And I think he's getting more comfortable in front of the camera. My kids are pretty comfortable in front of the camera. So I have so many photos here, but we rarely list them. I know, but that's good stuff for like if on a day that you're not feeling well, you want to just sit in one spot, you're having a lazy day, maybe you want to watch TV.
I have tons of photos too. I'm a sucker for antique photos and scrapbooks, anything like that. I just love that. I have a ton of them.
Christopher knows that I am going to do exactly what he told me to with his money, because we did last week when he said it was to eat. And I love this. He says, calling it a night, pay this forward to someone. Have a blessed weekend, everyone. And remember, you are all amazing. I can't wait.
Nice.
Like, I can't wait to see the person that I'm going to pay this forward with. I will post this on my Instagram story just because I want you guys to see, like, that could make a big difference in someone's life.
Absolutely.
You could like pay for someone's groceries in front of you or something. That's awesome, Christopher. And I love the meaning behind that. Thank you a lot. My highest profit items came from a tiny local Christian outreach shop. My favorite place to shop. That's awesome.
Yep.
You the man. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't read this out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm begging my hubby to join me. Might not happen. Yeah, I'm like, now my wheels are spinning about what would be a good way to pay that forward. Oh, I'm the gal that rescues the embroidered doilies and cross stitch. Yeah. Sometimes
well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, sometimes I'm really rescuing things.
Yeah.
So Tracy, I'm super excited to see. I'm gonna click on your thing real quick, and we're just gonna tell everybody. Sorry, I have to mute it as soon as I click on it. You might hear yourself talk real quick for a second.
Oh God.
Okay, Tracy, you are at 68 subscribers right now.
All right.
And has not posted a full-length video for us yet, guys. So that's incredible, Tracy, because some people are working a long time on YouTube to get to 100 subscribers, and you're over halfway there without posting a video yet.
And I appreciate every single one. Believe me, I really honestly do. And I hope nobody's going to be disappointed. I'm going to do my best.
No. And it's like just a testament to people that have followed you on Instagram, and everyone already knows that it's going to be good stuff. So, a nice tip for your waiter or waitress. That's a cool idea.
Nice idea, Courtney. Yeah.
Maybe I should take ideas from people and be like, who should I like? Do you watch that? What's that guy's name? Jimmy Darton or Jimmy? He has a YouTube channel, and basically he raises money. People send money, and then they tell him what to do with it. And it's like, ask someone to buy you a birthday cake, and the first person that does, give them $500, or like, it's the coolest stuff. And man, that's probably one of my favorite channels.
You should do that, Rachel. I definitely think you should do that. I think a lot of people would get into it, and you'd probably get some really creative ideas from people.
It'd be really fun.
It would.
Christopher said I was going to say that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Be like, you know what? I just want to make your day really happy. And yeah, we don't go out to eat a whole awful lot, but it's amazing the conversations that you can just have with your waiter and waitress. We were out dining one time and we're saying grace over our food, and the guy was like bringing us back some salsa or something. We were at a Mexican restaurant, and I look up and he's standing there waiting. And or no, I'm telling this wrong. He just dropped the stuff off. And I said, and I'm telling you, Tracy, like this must have been the Holy Spirit, because there's no reason why I would have just asked. I've never asked this. I said, we're about to pray over this food. Is there anything I can pray for you about? I don't know why I said that to him. And he said, yes. He said it was either his cousin or his brother was still in Mexico and he was sending him back money. And he said things just aren't good there for them. And I was like, the things that, like, we had enough money to go out to eat, and he's working so that he can send money back to his family. And then on top of that, to ask us, yeah, actually you can pray for us. And so we prayed for him and had an opportunity then to bless him with a tip. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you just stop and talk to people and don't just see everyone as like faceless, and they're, like, everyone has a story, everyone has a struggle, something that's going on in their lives. And I just thought that was such a neat thing to have asked the waiter, we're about to pray over this food, can we pray for you? So I don't know, that's maybe something to consider doing. I didn't exactly expect him to be so forward with his idea. I'm horrible at sourcing. Auction box lots are God's way of helping me get some great items. It's the way I source. You can get some really good stuff, mystery boxes and stuff. Next time I hear the word random, I'm paying myself $5. Nice. Where pigs fly farm, you better. With practice, you really do. Christopher better go to bed or he's gonna be broke. He said, okay, go eat and leave the tip. I'm really gone this time.
Oh my. What an amazing person.
Drew and I'll never have to pay for another date. Christopher is just one of the coolest guys. He's amazing. Thank you so much, Christopher. I can't even tell you how cool that is. Look at Drew's like, Chris. Oh, and it's funny because when we were out, I said we got the bill, and I didn't hand it to Drew right away. He's like, oh no, you have to, Chris is paying for this. Whatever card that money went on to, that's how you have to pay for this.
Yeah, it's only fair.
So I did. Christopher, I'm excited to make a video about this now. I'm absolutely 100% going to do it. That's pretty cool. What do you think someone's going to do to get a tip like that?
I don't know. That's a hard one because they don't know that you're going to do that. So like you could get lucky and you could have a waiter or waitress who gives you really great service and is every bit deserving. Or you could get somebody else and then you're like, am I really going to give this person? But I have a waitressing background. I've done a lot of waitressing.
Me too. I waited tables for 6 years.
Yeah. I've waitressed a lot, and it is a tough job, and it's really, like most customer service, speaking of, sometimes you're not in the mood for people can be very difficult to deal with. You can be on, your second double in 2 days, and you've been on your feet for 14 hours and carrying heavy trays, and you smell like seafood, and it's not a glamorous job. And sometimes it's just really hard to keep up that,
really positive face for every single person.
Yeah. Or especially if you've got something going on that's really heavy in your personal life and you're trying to leave it at the door when you go in, and the littlest thing can really like throw you off kilter. So, I mean, personally, I think every waitress deserves a great tip, but the waitresses that can manage to do that and provide excellent customer service and smile and say thank you and really be genuine, I think they deserve to get extra.
Yeah, you're right. And it's funny that you bring that up because we were talking about like everybody has a struggle. You just don't know what it is. Everyone's going through something. And yeah, like your waiter or waitress may have something on their mind that you could never even think about. Like you just never really know. But I was listening to Air One. It's a Christian radio station. They're syndicated. You've probably heard them, and just maybe not even known it was Air One. But she said that it was a husband and wife DJ and she said that they were going into this place and God had like already put it on her heart to really bless this person with the tip, like really bless them. And she went on about how horrible the service was, Tracy. The girl even sat down at one point and started eating her own lunch.
Ooh.
And she's like, oh my gosh. Like, and then she said that God just spoke to her and said, I told you to bless her. I didn't ask you if she deserved it. I was like, oh my gosh, that is like such an analogy for like, I don't deserve a single good thing that God gives me. And we went to like qualify people for blessings. Like he didn't say
Right.
if XYZ, it's kind of like love your neighbor. He didn't say like if they check off all these boxes. So I'm like, I'm with you, Tracy. I might walk in and they might not deserve it and they're still getting it and it's
There
gonna
you
be great.
go. And you know what? You may be the reason why their luck turns around, or
Yeah.
their, you may be the reason that, they're at least not feeling terror, because you don't know. You don't know what people are going through, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they give you good service. Yeah, I had that comment pulled up. Froggy Flips bought some gaming systems and gave them away to customers in the parking lot. That's
I saw
mind
that.
blowing.
He is such a nice guy, and that's another reason why I love watching his yard sale videos and sourcing videos, because of he's one of the ones in particular that I enjoy, because he's such a nice, genuine, authentic person, and he gives people like more than what they ask for when he knows that he's going to make a ton of money. He doesn't have to do that. He can take the loot and run, but he
Mhm.
goes, you know what? Like, I appreciate that, that you offered you're giving it to me for 60, but I'm going to give you 100, and
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
just, that's just the type of person he is. And there's a lot of people out there in the reseller community that are like that,
Yeah.
and
I
I
know, there's, like, so many giving people.
there are, and I don't think it's, by just saying that, I don't think it's dishonest to pay somebody their asking price either.
Mhm.
Like, I think if you say, "How much is this?" and they say $10, and it's worth $100, but they told you $10, you're not doing anything dishonest by giving them what they asked for. But
Yeah.
these guys take it a step further, and I think that they just wanna just show some kindness, and, you know, to the person, and be appreciative, which is always nice.
Yeah. And it's kinda paying it forward too, like, some of the bigger channels are the ones that do that a lot, like, you see like you say, Froggy Flips and Harry Tornado doing stuff like that, and, like, they're so blessed also in their social media business
Yeah.
that they're able to do that as well and still give us this free knowledge and information about what an item is worth and sometimes pay, like, even more. Like, Josh giving that lady $50 for that shirt the other day, like, I probably would have tried to buy it from her, but I probably wouldn't have offered her $50, but it's just like you say, it's really nice to be able to do that. Like, to do that, not to be able to, but to actually do it, because a lot of
Yeah.
people may be able to, but not do it.
Yeah.
Q says, "This is so important. My son is autistic, so no eye contact, and he may not seem interested, but he really loves his job. So remember, you don't know every server's story." I love that.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I agree. I try to support the nice people on YouTube. He deserves his success. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah. That's what Joey says, you're so right. Wow, so true. Just listen to God, what he's directing you to do. Oh, I'm gonna pray over it now and be like, God, where should we have lunch? I'm sure he already has it picked out, don't you think? He already knows who's getting this.
What if he
Well,
makes you go to a rib restaurant? Then what are you gonna do?
that's all we have in our town, Tracy, is rib restaurants. I was at a rib restaurant last night. Yeah. I
You
didn't
go?
even eat. It was for an office, like our real estate, like, awards for last year,
Oh.
and we were supposed to RSVP, and I was a day late on the RSVP, and I was like, "I'm not eating anyway, so it shouldn't make any difference." They had baked potatoes, but I just wasn't feeling like a potato. If you really wanna know, I had a Bloody Mary for dinner.
Oh, there you go. That
I was
works.
like, I mean, there was some sustenance. It had tomato juice in it, so
Now I want a
yeah.
Bloody Mary. Thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome. On
Mm.
that note.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I'm glad that you guys were all, hanging out with us live tonight. I'm so appreciative to have such a big crowd tonight, and Tracy, that just means, all of these people being exposed to you and your new YouTube as well, like, warms my heart right up. You guys are gonna like her, I promise you. I like her, and if you like me, I'm sure, hey, she's a mutual friend. So definitely head over to her channel and subscribe. And she's going to be putting out some new content for us this week. So look forward to that and show us around the shed maybe or something. There's a lot of people that haven't seen your shed yet. I don't know if that's in a recordable position right now, but if it's not, maybe soon.
Maybe.
But I so appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna call it a night, and we love you guys. Love that you showed up, and yeah, to think of some way to pay whatever blessings you received this week forward to maybe your server. Wouldn't it be cool if everyone shared stories about paying it forward to their servers this week?
It's a great idea.
Yeah, we did go out to eat recently and gave her like an extra, like a Christmas tip, and she was just nice, and to like walk out and just wonder maybe what someone's face looked like when they saw it. But yeah, I'll leave it here on Courtney's comment. Have a great night, everyone. Great show, Rachel and Tracy. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Rachel.